And now, live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, it's your boys, it's your hosts, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday night, and you know what that means.
Another very exciting night of voice acting, and I can't wait.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I think tonight was a perfect opportunity to kick off episode 5 of 5 of this game. I think it's been a kind of a short series, but very interesting one. But, you know, if we followed these games for any length of time, Ace Attorney, you know, Apollo Justice, that whole, you know that some of these final episodes can be very, very meaty. I mean, you know, the last episode that we recorded was over 4 hours long. We could have easily carved that up into 2 separate episodes, but, you know, we decided to go forward. And boys, we found out quite a lot of things.
Yeah, it was totally worth it, and look, mind you, I didn't get in trouble or anything. Everything went smoothly for me since that day. So yeah.
Okay.
Now that that's out of the way.
Well, I was hoping he didn't have to say nothing about that, but in case anybody's scratching their head, old package here had a morning shift, but we're past that now, so everything's good.
Right.
So I think we want to take some time, just a little bit, to start, you know, plug our usual stuff. You know, you got the Nostalgic Monday, you have the Legend of Zelda Tuesdays. You know, I mean, well, what is your schedule like these days? Like, I mean, I know the Super Mario Fridays didn't quite get off the boards, you know, this past Friday, but you know,
it was last night, but yeah, but last night Super Mario Friday did not go into effect. Hopefully, it comes back next week. As far as Nostalgic Monday goes, special thanks to Scott Ryan for suggesting Star Fox 64. That is the next Nostalgic Monday title, and I'm also thinking of Star Fox Assault. I think I still remember having that game on the GameCube.
Yep, we've got
Adventures.
We've got it hanging around here somewhere. But Star Fox Adventures, yes, would also be a. Well, the thing about I mean, it's a good nostalgic game because again, that came out in the mid 2000s. You know, the fact that it's 2025 would probably qualify it as a nostalgic title. So. Yeah, and listen, if you guys have any ideas about a nostalgic game that you guys might want to see, maybe something obscure that we've never seen before, you know, hit us up in the comments, let us know on the Facebook page, you know, drop comments on YouTube, you know, check out the archives. You know, I think things are starting to calm down a little bit at the airport, or I'm not sure, but I know that we seem to be doing this on a fairly regular basis now. And so, you know, always keep updated on the Facebook page. I mean, that's our duty, and I said duty. But no, check it out. About more nostalgic titles, I may have to go so far as to doing Punch Out. You know, oh my
Punch
God,
Out for the NES.
How can you
Punch Out?
How can you not do Punch Out? the game with Little Mac and Mike Tyson, although they call him, I believe, Mr. Dream, but Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I absolutely think that should be, you know, like it would be. What's the furthest you can go? Can you beat the game? You know, can you learn how to? I think a couple of runs and that would be very entertaining.
Yeah, not to mention Super Punch Out, because I remember playing that game when I was young. And,
absolutely.
And I've beaten it a handful of times.
Yep. So it's kind of fun to get around it. So, well, I think we've done all we can about plugging the shows. It's time to get to our second favorite part of this show. You know the drill by now, kids. If you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your can, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off.
With a twisty twist.
Hey, Cannon, what time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
One more note. I will say that our good friends over at the Outside Blitz will be recording the latest episode of the podcast. The first podcast since the preseason went live. And in just a few short weeks, we will be going to weekly episodes. And I will be posting that on Twitch and YouTube. And doing that live just in case you guys want to follow along. So, give us a listen over at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Odyssey, and coming soon to Spotify. Okay.
And speaking of tomorrow, I am thinking of bringing back Metroid Prime Sunday. I believe I have time for that as well.
Subject to plans. Okay, enough jabber jabber. Live scene.
Let's do it.
Okay, so now, how much you want to bet that this old dude right here is the king of Wivengard? He looks pretty. Whoever the heck that is,
man is,
he's
whoever
very.
That man is, I have him. Yeah.
Well, he's very, very important. But I mean, who cares? Let's just dive right in here. Let's start the game from episode 5.
I've killed people. They were usually criminals or bandits.
We have absolutely no idea who this is.
But it still frightens me how unaffected I was by their deaths. It always keep... Oh, feels like a female saying it.
You really think so? Go ahead.
It always came so easily to me. I was good at it. A little too good. People told me that taking the lives of others would be hard. But I never felt that uneasiness. Not even once. It made me think that I was some kind of unfeeling monster. And maybe I am. But the time I spent with you filled me with more happiness than I could have ever dreamed of.
That would have to be Celeste from the words I'm seeing here, but yeah.
I'm telling you, well, when I snuck ahead right before you got home, that's the conclusion I came to, too. What could this possibly mean? Oops. Here you go.
Instead of taking lives, I could save them alongside you. It felt good to protect you. I felt needed when I knew you were relying on me. It made me feel like I was actually worth something to someone. And whenever I saw the light in your eyes, it filled my heart with a warm feeling that I've never felt before. But it was too good to be true, wasn't it? In the end, I failed you. I couldn't protect you, just like I couldn't protect my father. I don't understand. What did you ever see in someone like me?
What? Episode 5, Attorney of the Arcane. That's ominous.
Tyrion? You still haven't gotten out of bed yet. It's almost noon.
I think I just want to rest today.
You've been saying that for the last 10 days. Someone is actually here to see you. You should really get out of bed.
Is it Tymora?
No.
I'm still not really in the mood. Can you just send them away?
That's a bit rude, but I suppose I can overlook it this time.
Oh, Steelwind?
As the prosecutor enters your room, you immediately leap out of your bed. You try to futilely clean your unkempt hair, but you're just making it worse.
Tyrion, pants!
Oh boy. All right, sorry.
We'll give you some time to ready yourself. I knew he was in a rut, but I certainly didn't expect this. I know. I'm really worried about him. I empathize with this situation, but it's been a month already. Have you tried speaking with him?
He has opened up to you before.
I think he's really broken up over what happened with Ruby. She's basically the closest thing he had to family.
I see. Perhaps he just needs more time.
After taking some time to make yourself presentable, you exit your room to greet the prosecutor properly.
Sorry about that.
No, I suppose the fault is mine. I shouldn't have intruded.
Anyways, what brings you here? Let's talk to her.
Are you doing well, Mr. Cuthbert? You seem...
I'm fine.
Of course. I just couldn't help but notice your absence. You haven't taken any of the clients since Beatrice's trial.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even sure if I want to be a defense attorney anymore.
What?
I've spent my whole life training to be one, but I was only doing it because someone else told me to.
Did you not enjoy it? You are very skilled at it.
I don't know. I've been trying to take some time to think about everything. But I still haven't found any answers.
Have you considered becoming a prosecutor? Your time as my stand-in made it clear that you have the ability to.
A prosecutor? I would have never even considered that a year ago. But I understand now. There are criminals who need to be brought to justice. Despite how difficult she is to face, Steelwind never engages in outright corruption like the other prosecutors of the Crown. If I follow her example, I could fight injustice that way. But even if I did that, I'd still be just following someone else's footsteps, just like before. Nah, I'll think about it.
Please do. At this point, I could use all the help I can find.
What else?
Keep talking to her.
Let's talk to Arya. Have your injuries been healing well?
Yes, Nightgrave's skill in necromancy is quite remarkable. I'm glad I introduced him to House Asclepius.
Asclepius? Yeah.
House Asclepius.
Asclepius?
House Asclepius specializes in the study of necromancy. After Nightgrave's expulsion from the academy, I thought it was only right that he be allowed to continue his studies.
Right. He mentioned that he owed you a favor.
It was only logical. It would be a waste to let someone of his talents fade into obscurity.
Well, I'm glad that Wallace was able to continue his studies. He clearly wants to use his talents to better society. He's definitely in a better place than I'm in right now. Even so, should you still be moving around like this? You should take some time off to recover.
As much as I would like to, there's been a recent uptick in cases of mage blight lately.
Uh-oh, that's no good. Mage blight.
Maddie! Sorry, go ahead.
Maddie, hi.
Maddie, hi. Thank you so much for joining the chat.
Uh-oh. What? Hey, Zion. Zion the Potato has entered the chat. Not much. You just joined at the beginning of the episode. But really, Tyrion's been in kind of a funk since okay. So it turns out Tymora was dealing with criminals, and Tyrion stood in as a prosecutor, found Beatrice Frega to be guilty of murder with her demon familiar, who she signed a blood contract with, and, you know, Tymora's trying to get gold from House Frega to pay off the boss so that they can try to take down the nobility together. So yeah, go back and watch the episode in the archives. We probably should have split it up in 2 episodes, but yeah, there was a lot of tea spilt. I'll just do the old Dr. Nick response. Hi, everybody. So, okay. Mage blight. I recall hearing about that many times.
If a mage exceeds their stamina by overusing their magic, it starts to affect their mind and send them into a violent frenzy.
To make matters worse, the nobility has been trying to suppress information about these incidents.
Right, it's not a good look whenever a mage goes on a murderous rampage. Celeste McCoy.
Well, Zion, I hope you're enjoying your Florida vacation, man.
Hey, be careful out there. But otherwise, enjoy.
I was actually surprised to see you here, Celeste.
Well, I can't just leave him alone anymore. He ticked off a criminal overlord. They're definitely gonna send someone after him. He can't really take care of himself right now.
Celeste, your thoughts are leaking.
Hey, get out of my head.
What?
It's nothing.
I am surprised, though. Not many people slight the Eyetaker and live. He's known for taking swift retaliation against his enemies.
We're hoping he's laying low after his plan with Beatrice fell through.
That does match with the reports I've read. Supposedly, he's been absent from many of his enterprises.
Hey, about that, right at the end of the last episode. So Eris Ilmatter, we've seen that crazy chick with the bandage wraps for arms. Apparently was the Eyetaker's quote-unquote daughter, but it turns out that she actually took the soul of this guy's actual daughter, and she's a demon. And she completely annihilated him. So, yeah, there's a reason why he's been absent. He's kind of too dead to do business. Anyway, moving on. By the way, I'm not looking forward to dealing with him. It's bad enough that I'm already on the nobility's bad side.
What else? Now you're gonna talk about Ruby.
Now we talk about the elephant in the room.
By the way, Tyrion, Ruby sent another letter. Do you want to...
Put it with the rest.
Right.
Have you spoken to her since the trial? I see. That does explain her recent mood.
Right. You two probably see each other a lot.
I've prosecuted a few of her clients recently, but it's clear she's not nearly as threatening as before.
Could we talk about something else?
Of course, my apologies.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the tea's ready.
I get my Super Ultra Omega Sigma Thea Kappa Gavel of Awesomeness, Alan Z. Okay.
Alonzi, meaning let's go.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Some tea sounds lovely right now.
Right. I was totally making it for you guys.
She walks to the cabinet in your kitchen, and she takes out 2 more teacups.
You guys better enjoy this. These are my last bags of... Whoa!
She walks over to you. She slips on a scroll case that you left on the floor. She regains her balance, but the teacups slip out of her hands. The boiling liquid is airborne, and it's heading right towards your face.
Uh-oh.
Finger block.
Celeste reacts immediately and points her index finger at the tea. Her magic takes hold, and the tea freezes just inches from your face. She breathes a sigh of relief, and she brings the tea back into their cups.
You really need to clean this place. I'm your bodyguard, not your maid.
Right. Sorry about that.
Thanks a lot, David Tennant, for teaching me a new word.
That was shape liquid.
Hold on. Andrew Steve. Okay, so do it again.
That was shape liquid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shape liquid has been added once again to your court record.
While concentrating on the spell, the caster can magically manipulate up to 10 liters of liquid and form it in complex shapes. At any time, the caster can choose to freeze the liquid and solidify its current shape. While frozen, the caster can also choose to make the liquid instantaneously melt. So yeah, she's been learning a whole lot of spells lately. At a rapid pace. Oh, I never expected you to...
I know, but it's just too convenient not to have.
She's really opened her mind about learning new spells. I remember when I first met her. Back then, she only knew how to cast Mage Blade. She hated magic back then. I never imagined how diverse her repertoire would become. Uh-oh.
Another visitor?
Uh-oh. I'm already up. I'll check it.
Well, whoever they are, I'm not giving up any more of my Lotus tea.
You open the door and don't see anyone, but there's a letter in your mailbox.
Who's it from?
You take a closer look at the envelope. It's sealed with candle wax.
Okay.
There's a crest on it. It's the insignia of House Pierce.
Oh, shit!
We're in an ad break right now, so...
Just keep going.
Good job. Keep going. You quickly open the letter and read it.
Yeah, some shit's going down, and if they're watching an ad right now, well, subscribe so you don't miss stuff like this.
Despite supposedly being written by a noble, the paper has been torn in half, but the message is clear.
I hope you understand. I would have never contacted you unless I had no other choice. I know the truth behind McCoy's true parentage, and I'm aware of how vital this information is to you. As you know, my execution is scheduled for next month, and I'm running out of time. I want to trade this information with you. In exchange, you will grant me my freedom. Meet me in the private prayer room within the Grand Cathedral of the Scaled Lord at 2 p.m. You will save me from my fate. Or else. What?
What in the Wingadurium Helosia? I'm so confused. Letter from Garrick Pierce. Letter from Garrick Pierce has been added to the court record.
And the contents are all that stuff. Well, oh my God.
If he thinks for a second that we'd even think of helping him...
I know how you feel, but aren't these the answers you've been looking for?
I don't care. We're not going to help him.
I am intended to agree with Celeste on this one. Fuck that guy. It was never an option. But there's clearly more to this.
I agree. How was he able to find out in the first place? The truth is, Celeste, I've also been looking into your parentage.
What? Why didn't you say anything?
I'm sorry, but I didn't want to raise your hopes. And I was apparently right to do so. I couldn't find any information regarding your birth.
Whoa. That's wild. So if you couldn't find anything, how was Pierce able to?
House Pierce is low on the political hierarchy. He doesn't have access to the resources I do. He does own the land the McCoy Tavern is on. But frankly, this whole situation is quite suspect.
And why would he ask for my help? I was the one who indicted him in the first place. Even if I did agree to help him, it would be nearly impossible for me to get him an acquittal.
He must be desperate. His execution is scheduled for next month, after all. It's possible that he reached out to Tymora as well. Still, I can't believe he'd set up a meeting at the Grand Cathedral, today of all days!
I wonder why that is. Why? What's happening there?
I'm sorry, but it's not my place to tell you.
Oh boy, something big's going down.
Arya, can I talk with Tyrion alone for a minute?
Of course. I'm sure you have much to discuss. I actually also have business at the cathedral today. I can't believe he used that as an opportunity.
What's going on?
Derek Pierce, wasn't that bitch from the first episode? Yes, he was.
Indeed.
Also,
I'll be taking my leave.
I'm sorry. I'm sure this is just bringing up bad memories for you.
We should meet with him.
Whoa, that's a 180. What?
We're not gonna help him, obviously, but I had an idea. He's probably really scared of his execution, right? And he's desperate enough to ask you for help.
I suppose it's true.
So, think about how stressed he would be if you showed up and refused to help him.
Huh. I could use the Eye of Horus on him.
We can get the info we need without having to give him anything.
Aha. Interesting. But are you really okay with this? You'll have to see him again.
Yeah. I'll manage. And it'll be worth it if we can finally get the answers I'm looking for.
Well, I've already gotten the hopes up, but there's no guarantee that he actually knows the truth. He could just be bluffing to get me to help him. If he does know, I can't just ignore this. I need to verify his claims myself. Oh boy.
So this is the Grand Cathedral of the Scaled Lord.
I want some chilies, baby back ribs, baby back barbecue sauce. Here we go, yeah. Have you never been here before? I thought you spent a lot of time in Rathelm.
The Church of Bahamut wasn't that popular in my hometown, and I've never been the religious type. What about you?
Never really caught on with me, and apparently my roots are more celestial than draconic.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He certainly has the looks for it.
Your thoughts are leaking again.
Can you stop?
I can't exactly turn it off, you know. Do those mental exercises I taught you.
as you approach the Grand Cathedral, you see a large blockade guarded by legions of the King's Guard.
It's closed off. Is there some kind of event going on?
You recall Steelwind mentioning that she was heading here as well. The nobility must be using the cathedral grounds for something. It might explain why Pierce wanted to meet you here. Probably secluded from prying eyes today. Tyrion Cuthbert. As you approach the blockade, one of the knights notices you. He glances at you and Celeste. We've been expecting you.
I see.
You exchange glances with Celeste, but you both enter the cathedral grounds.
Oh shit, what the hell? They've been expecting him?
The main building is massive, yet mostly empty. You only see a few people within, and most of them are quite familiar. You spot Leif and Miriam as you head further into the room.
Oh boy.
They both avoid eye contact with you, but it doesn't seem to be purely out of resentment. As soon as they see you, they move their conversation elsewhere. It's clear they still have mixed feelings about how you convicted their sister. In another corner of the room, you spot Lloyd von Sanctus speaking with another individual.
That bastard.
She seems to be someone of equal social standing.
Who is this? Find out in a minute.
You feel like you've seen her somewhere before, but you can't quite remember where. When the Hunchback of Notre Dame Hell is, I know damn well that ain't who I think it is.
No, I don't know. Anyway.
As soon as you enter the room, Von Sanctus flashes a quick look of disdain at you. You see him slowly move his conversation out of the room as well. And finally, you see Lucio Steelwind speaking with his daughter, along with the two princes. They seem to be speaking with another individual that you haven't met before. When he notices you, his gaze narrows, and he stares at the two of you warily. Aster especially seems surprised to see you here. He and Lucio ask the prosecutor something, but you can't quite hear their conversation. When she responds, Aster raises her eyebrows, and Lucio's expression darkens. What's going on here?
What's going on here?
Son of not one, not two, nay, three bitches!
This is a little awkward.
Yeah. but we have some time before our meeting with Pierce. You want to do some sightseeing?
Oh? Are you asking me out?
We are literally already out. Hey, dummy. That one sailed right over your head. Anyway.
Sure, why not? I picked up this map from the entrance. We can use it to navigate through the area.
Map of the Grand Cathedral has been added to the court record.
It's a map of the cathedral grounds.
One more, please. Gotta hydrate.
I'm also interested in what all these nobles are doing here.
It is strange. Perhaps someone can tell me more. All right, so let's talk to Aster, I suppose.
I think I saw Ari over there. We should go say hi.
As you approach the group, the Grand General and the unnamed noble stare at the two of you.
Hello?
The nobleman looks at you and then at Celeste. He silently scans the two of you. It's as if he's trying to read something. He then walks away without a word.
Rude.
At this point, I'm kind of used to it.
Mr. Cuthbert and Miss McCoy, I'm surprised to see you here.
What? I thought you were the one who invited them.
I'm sad to say that I didn't. Although, I am happy to see you two nonetheless. What brings you to the Grand Cathedral today?
We were actually invited by another noble. We have a meeting with him. What? None of the people here are allowed to invite guests. Why didn't the guards stop you? Oh, they said they were expecting us. What?
It was Lord Pierce who invited them.
Pierce? That little. And to think I granted his request for temporary release.
I'm sure he meant no disrespect by it. He probably had his reasons.
How can you say that? This is the day of your...
He stops himself mid-sentence and clears his throat.
The day of his wedding! No fucking way! What an asshole! Oh, Jesus.
Whoa.
What? Make no mistake, even if he is a dead man, I will have words with him about this.
Cuthbert, you have so many qualities that make me want to slap the social idiocy out of you.
Well, he's a nerd. He's a chess nerd, first of all, gathering of nobles. I have to ask, why are all of these nobles gathered here? You've taken over the entire Grand Cathedral.
As you ask that question, everyone seems to tense up. The prosecutor awkwardly looks at the two princes. Prince Alaric avoids eye contact with everyone and just stares at the ground. I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to tell you that. It's a matter of public safety.
Okay, maybe it's not a wedding, but it's something different. I see. It's a little strange, but I can read the room. Prying isn't the best thing to do right now. Yeah, no shit. To speak not of issues that you do not understand and do not concern you. Tyrion and Celeste. You said that Lord Pierce invited you here. For what reason? I can't really tell you that. You will tell us if it poses a threat to the nobles in attendance.
Please, Lord Stewin, there's no need for that. Mr. Cuthbert would never do anything to put anyone's life in danger.
As you wish, Your Majesty. Is that the reason why Pierce asked for temporary release? Interesting. So Pierce was temporarily released to attend whatever this is. He could have met with you he could have met with me in his cell, but perhaps he wanted to be away from prying eyes.
Look, Maddie just liked the stream.
Yay!
There it is, Maddie, liking the stream.
And what were you gonna say?
Lady Stillwind, Your Majesty, the High Speaker is ready to speak with you. Wonderful. I've been looking forward to this all day. Shall we go together, Miss Steelwind?
Yes, Your Majesty, she would like to accompany you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We shouldn't keep him waiting.
Okay.
Yep, they're getting hitched. Scaled Lord. How does she plan to marry him if she can't even speak properly in his presence?
Honestly,
I also have something important to do. Good day to you, commoners.
he's going towards the washrooms.
I will be taking my leave as well, but make no mistake, my men will be keeping an eye on you two.
Everyone has left the room now. Perhaps you should move somewhere else, like the common room.
Oh boy.
Oh, what are you doing here? Did you follow us?
Not intentionally.
Trust me, you're the last person we wanted to see today.
Hush, no, Lord Von Sanctus. If they are here by chance, it is because the cosmic balance wills it so.
Not this again.
Sorry, I don't think we've met.
I am Corleen Sybil, Lady of the House of Sybil.
Name, Corleen Sybil. Occupation, noble.
Someone new. So this is the head of the fourth pillar family. She's
I
not
have a feeling
quite...
she's...
Go ahead.
I have a feeling she's a steel wind. Never mind. Nope, she's a Sybil.
All right. She's not quite what you were expecting. Between her, Lucio, Lloyd, and William, she definitely seems the most agreeable. For better or worse, I've gotten to know the other pillar families decently well. Might benefit me to learn more about her. Okay.
Let's talk to her. Yeah, let's talk to her, Corlins.
So you're the leader of House Sybil. What does your family do?
Is called them, can call definite branches of the kingdom's government. House Steelwind oversees national defense and law enforcement. House Frega oversees economic development and finances. House Von Sanctus handles commerce, both local and international. And finally, there's House Sybil. We handle the kingdom's legislative and judicial branches.
That would also mean you're responsible for our kingdom's justice system.
That is correct.
Oh, wonderful. Here we go.
Oh boy, yeah. The one thing that's pissing everybody off. Lady Sybil, are you aware of the rampant corruption happening within your justice system?
I suppose it's only inevitable that you'd see it that way.
Am I wrong? I've been involved in plenty of court cases, and it's very obvious. All your courts care about is closing cases as quickly as possible. The system is corrupt to its core. The courts don't even try to hide it half of the time.
Yet you've prevailed against the so-called corruption in each and every one of your cases.
Only against every conceivable odd, and I can't be everywhere. Do you have any idea how many commoners are falsely convicted every day?
If they are convicted under my system, it's only because the cosmic balance deems it so.
What are you even talking about?
The cosmic balance is the natural order of things. Under it, the guilty are punished while the innocent are protected.
And yet, when a noble commits a crime, they only need to waive their influence to escape any consequences. All while their victims are forced to suffer in silence. Or worse, an innocent commoner is framed for the crime.
Regardless of your personal feelings, our kingdom needs the nobility to govern the people. If they were held to the same standard as commoners, our society would surely collapse.
You take back what you said about her being the most agreeable of the four pillars.
I take back what I said about her being the most agreeable of the four pillars. Probably the least agreeable of all of them. The nobility. So you think nobles like Pearson von Sanctus should just be allowed to get away with murder?
You still thought about that? I'm sure you realize it by now. I've more than paid for what happened with Jason Wynn.
His name is Preston Wayne.
And if you were truly paying for your crimes, you would be in prison right now.
Von Sanctus made a mistake, but removing him from his possession would only create more suffering. Our government is barely recovering from the death of William Frega. Riverguard can't suffer the loss of another house leader this close to that.
The way I see it, I think you nobles overstate your importance in our lives. We'd probably be fine without you.
And I suppose you commoners are capable of coordinating macroeconomic initiatives. Oh, and I suppose you're also capable of engaging in diplomacy with the other nations. Face it, as much as you are loath to admit it, ours is a symbiotic relationship.
More like a parasitic relationship.
So what? The common folk should just continue to suffer for the good of our nation? Hey, Alex Pulowski has joined the stream. Hi, guys. Anyway. Lady Sybil, the people of the kingdom you claim to be protecting are suffering because of your inaction.
My inaction? You place the blame on me, but what have you done? You were once a champion of your so-called justice, but you've stopped your work as a defense attorney. How many lives could you have saved in the month that you spent on vacation?
It's not his responsibility to solve your mess. You have no idea how much he suffered trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, hey, that's the problem with doing the right thing. Sometimes you do it by yourself. Celeste?
Perhaps you're right. You shouldn't bear that kind of responsibility alone. But every common has the ability to learn and practice law as you do, Mr. Cuthbert. So why are you only one of the few commoners that do so? From what I've heard, you're one of the few people who defend mages of the common folk. Every other attorney wouldn't even consider taking them as clients. Perhaps the problem lies in the common folk then. They are fully capable of rising to defend the so-called innocent, yet they do nothing.
Never mind. This was clearly a mistake. Let's go, Celeste.
Yeah.
Finally, thanks to scared lord.
You okay?
Yeah, I guess I should have expected that. But I never expected someone with so much power to be so out of touch with reality.
Come on, let's go somewhere else. We still have some time before the meeting.
Oh boy.
Well, we're gonna move to the garden then.
Oh yeah, the nave is in the other place, so, alright.
You find yourself in the Grand Cathedral's garden and stumble upon a strange statue.
Why is that horse got a birthday hat on his head? Anyway.
Beats me.
Anyway.
Wow, that's a little out of place. What even is it?
If my memory is correct, it's a Pegasus.
Hello, friends. As you inspect the contemporary piece of artwork, you're startled by a familiar voice. And it looks like she's not alone either.
Oh, not this bitch again.
Along with Eris, she seems to be accompanied by both of her sisters.
Beatrice, aren't you supposed to be dead?
No.
Dead?
Sorry, I wasn't trying to say...
No, it's perfectly understandable. You, of all people, know what was on my blood contract. But it appears the Lady of Discord isn't going to kill me just yet.
What was that?
That Discord. Oh, God. Keep going.
Do you really have to do that?
What?
Never mind.
Right.
It's a little awkward speaking to the Frega sisters after everything that's happened. But they don't seem hostile, and all things considered, you prefer their company over Sybil's. Although, you're still not sure how you feel about speaking with a murderer, especially one that you indicted. But Beatrice clearly knows more about demons and their kind than you do. You wonder if she knows anything about the Heavensborn.
This is now this is slippery slope territory. Let's talk to her. So, you seem to be doing well, all things considered.
You mean how a demon now has ownership of my soul?
Yeah, that.
How can you be so calm about this?
I must agree with Tyrion. It's a little unnerving how nonchalantly you're treating this.
I suppose it's the knowledge that everything is out of my hands now. There's something peaceful about it.
That's certainly a positive way to look at it.
You know, my offer still stands. I can try to help you.
At the risk of your own life? Which part of the contract would you dispute anyways?
The Divine Edict made you aware of every element in their blood contract. There was very little room for interpretation. It was airtight.
The demon I signed that contract with was very meticulous about the details. I spent the last 5 years looking for any possible loopholes, but I didn't find anything substantial I could use. I don't even think disputing it is possible.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. You defeated me. I won't suffer your pity.
Aerosol matter.
I feel like we always end up randomly meeting like this, Eris. What brings you here?
I requested to accompany Beatrice to this event. After all, I don't have many opportunities to enter a church like this.
Especially if she's a demon and she can't enter holy ground.
I can imagine.
Nah. By the way, is your father still...
Oh, if you're worried about him, we've already had a conversation about you. I don't think he'll be accosting you anytime soon.
And those words should chill him to the very bone. Oh, thank you.
That seems too good to be true. How'd you pull something like that off?
He may look like a hardened criminal, but he's always had a soft spot for his family. He also owed me, and I have a way of making people see things my way.
She's right about that.
Mornoth.
Wait, if you're here, does that mean Moranath is also...
Oh, heavens no. There's no way they'd let me bring him here of all places. I left him at the entrance with the King's Guard. If he tries to escape, that knight over there is ordered to kill me.
She gestures towards the knight that is silently watching the sisters from afar.
You're surprisingly calm about this.
Please, I regularly deal with demons. This is nothing in comparison to that.
You really haven't changed.
I suppose not.
Wait, does that mean you can't see right now? How did you know which statue I was looking at?
It was a lucky guess. That grotesque statue certainly makes an impression on you. Oh, Mornath just spoke with me. He wanted me to let you know that he could smell your celestial stink from the entrance.
Love you too, Moranath.
Oh, wow. I probably shouldn't repeat his response to that.
Probably not.
Nope.
All right, here we go. This is the $1 million question. The Heavensborn. By the way, You seem to know a lot more about these things than I do. What exactly is a Heavensborn?
What? Did you seriously not know? But you know how to issue a divine edict. It's a very advanced technique.
It sort of came to me in the moment.
What? Anyways, I'm quite surprised you don't know about your lineage.
Perhaps my mother knew, but I lost her when I was really young. Something tells me he needs to keep his mouth shut. But...
I see. You have my condolences. But to answer your question, a Heavensborn is a human whose bloodline has been touched by the gods.
Gods? You mean like the Scaled Lord?
No, I'm speaking of the actual gods.
Beatrice, you can't say that here.
Oh, come off it. What's the church going to do? What's the church gonna do? Arrest me? Anyways, your blood has been touched by the celestials of the upper planes. Much like my soul is bound to the Abyssal Hells. Your soul is consecrated and tied to the heavens.
The heavens? Is that why I'm able to use the Eye of Horus? Is it some kind of angelic power?
Make no mistake, though. If you find yourself under the wrong circumstances, even you can be sent to hell.
Well, it's good to know that. The Celestials. The Church of Bahamut is prominent to Wivengard, but this is the first time I've heard of the Celestial Gods.
Ah, that makes sense. It's probably because of Wivengard's bloody history with the theocracy of Lumina.
The Theocracy? Aren't they the nation east of us?
Yes, the Luminites worship the celestial gods, while our people worship the ancient dragons. A few centuries ago, our nation was locked in a bitter war with the Luminites. Even now, the Crown sees the celestial religions as a threat to our draconic culture. The Church has done its best to wipe out any religions that worship the Celestials.
I see.
But if your bloodline is blessed by the Celestials, does that mean that our kids will also be Heavensborn?
What do you mean? What are you talking about, kids, lady? I suppose so. I think my mother was also a... Wait, what did you just say?
Your kids. I asked if your kids will be Heavensborn.
She wants to... she corrected herself quickly, but... Oh, I must have misheard you then.
Wow. If only you were always this easy to lie to.
Anyways, I'm a little curious about the theocracy of Lumina. If they worship Celestials there, would I find other Heavensborn there?
Heavensborn aren't that common there either. Frankly, I'm surprised there's even one Heavensborn living in Wivengard. How did your bloodline even find its way here?
I suppose I don't really know. My mother never told me much about her ancestry.
That makes sense. If the Church of Bahamut knew what you were, they would have definitely hunted you down.
Great. The last thing I need is another faction that wants to kill me.
Anyways, travel into and out of Wivengard is technically illegal, and I doubt Lord Steelwind would make an exemption for you. After all, House Steelwind was essentially founded by veterans of the Great Luminite War.
Veteran? Vet?
Oh no.
No, I hate the vet. I'm not going. You'll never take me alive. You all watch as Tracker frantically runs to the garden, barking loudly. Arr, 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 arr. Leif chases after him as he runs towards a passing knight.
I should probably go help her.
Well, it's almost 2 p.m. anyways. We should head to the prayer room. Thank you for answering my questions, Beatrice. please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you with your situation.
Of course.
Let's go, Celeste.
Right.
Well, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Try not to look so down. It's almost time for the main event. Why did you bring me here? Oh, who knows? Whatever you're planning to make me do, please, please don't make me harm my sisters. You're in no position to make demands. You'll just have to see for yourself. Stay safe, Mr. Cuthbert.
Oh, boy.
What in the hell was that all about?
Man, so basically, this is disgusting. All right, move to location. Are you ready?
Yeah. At least, I hope so.
If it becomes too much for you, don't hesitate to leave. I only need a few moments to look into his mind.
No, I'm the one who asked you to do this. And I'm not going to leave you alone with him.
Right, if that's what you want.
Tyrion,
Yeah?
thank you for doing this. It really means a lot to me.
Of course. This will finally give you the answers you've been looking for.
It's not just that. You've done so much for me since I met you. You got me acquitted. You helped me work through my grief for my dad. It feels like I can never repay that.
You gotta hydrate.
What are you talking about? For the past few months, all I've been doing is relying on you. I genuinely don't know what I'd do if you weren't a part of my life.
I should tell him.
Yeah, do it. Tell me what?
Get out of my head!
You're really bad at guarding your mind. You know you can tell me anything, right?
Arya! How long have you been standing there?
Well, I knew you'd be here around this time. I wanted to wish you luck, but then you two seemed to be in the middle of something. I didn't want to interrupt.
Talk about bad timing.
Don't stop on my account. I'll just get out of your way.
She awkwardly skitters away. You see something fall out of her pocket.
Oh, Arya, you dropped your runestone.
As Celeste picks up the runestone, she accidentally activates it.
Uh-oh.
An image of a piece of evidence appears for a brief moment, but Arya quickly hides it. But not before Celeste sneaks a peek at it.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
Celeste, don't just invade her privacy like that.
Don't be like that. I'm really happy for you.
thank you. Good luck.
Part of you really wants to know what you saw. But one of you has to exercise some self-restraint.
Anyways, let's go meet with him.
Yeah, let's do this. I can tell him after.
Really? Don't regret it. Anyway, you finally arrived. I suppose this means you finally decided. Wait, you two?
We got your letter.
Letter? What letter? You sent us a letter, Pierce. It said that you knew who Celeste's parents are. I did send that letter, but not to you two. What?
I don't like this.
Yeah, no shit.
And so the final act begins. I've been waiting for this.
What the hell are you doing? Have you gone mad? No! What are you doing? Stop!
What?
Ah!
Lady Steelwind. What's are you?
Oh, it's not her. It's a clone.
Is this also the will of the cosmic balance?
Come on, just tell us the truth, Pierce.
You are the last person I would give this information to.
He's getting more and more stressed. Just a little more and you'll... As you interrogate him, you suddenly hear a loud crash outside the room.
What was that?
I'm gonna take a look and see what's going on.
What? Are you just going to leave us here? He's right. We don't know what's going on. We should stay together.
Don't worry, there were 2 guards outside, and they're from the King's Guard. You'll be fine.
That's not what I'm worried about. But I'll trust your judgment. What?
It's been almost 10 minutes since Celeste went to investigate the noise. Pierce seems extremely on edge. He's sitting at one of the tables and impatiently tapping its surface with his finger.
So, you never intended to send that letter to me. Who did you send it to then? Oh, as if I would ever tell you that.
Luckily for you, he should have accumulated enough stress by now.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Even if I wasn't the intended recipient, you said that you knew who Celeste's biological parents are. Who are they? Are you seriously focused on that now? It's far too important. No, it's far too important. It's my only bargaining chip. Answer the question, Pierce. What was that?
Sumanaya.
What? What is this?
A blue luminous vapor enters the room. As soon as it makes contact with you, you suddenly feel extremely fatigued.
Damn it, it's a sleep spell!
Sleep has been added to your court record.
The caster conjures a magical mist in the direction that they stretch their palm. This magical mist will travel up to 30 feet before dissipating. Any creature who inhales the mist will fall into a magical slumber. An affected creature will be awoken from their slumber if they're violently shaken or experience any sort of pain. I miscalculated. No, if they got here, that means Celeste.
You try your hardest to stay conscious, but the spell is too powerful. You feel your body slowly drop into the ground.
No. Beatrice?
Beatrice's actions has been added to your court record.
You saw Beatrice Frega as you were losing consciousness. You only saw her for a brief moment, so it could have been an illusion. Regardless, that means she somehow entered the prayer room at 2:30 p.m. Would you like to save your progress? Yes, I would. Because... You never know. Okay, so... somebody got thrown into the water, so it sounds like the head of House Sybil got tossed into the water. First of all, there's a dead body there. And okay, we're an hour in. Package, what do you say?
We go forward like a breath exhaled from the earth, with vigor in our hearts and one goal in sight.
To find out what the hell is going on here.
Tyrion.
What? Celeste?
Tyrion, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. I should have never left you alone with him.
Hey, it's okay.
Tears were streaming down her eyes. She was clearly worried about you. You try your best to comfort her as you look around the room.
What happened? How long was I knocked out?
As you look around and you see several other people with you. Commander White is leading a group of knights. They all have their weapons drawn and pointed at someone. It's Prosecutor Steelwind? Commander, I understand your position, but there has to be another explanation.
Look, Your Majesty, I get where you're coming from, but from what the witnesses have told us, it has to be a case of mage blight.
Oh, no. Well, bullshit. I mean, That doesn't make any sense. There's a piece of evidence that we saw from her thing, but anyway.
You look around the room and see a pool of blood at the end of one of the tables.
Celeste, where's Pierce?
Tyrion,
I don't know how to tell you this, kid, but Garrick Pierce is dead.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, what?
What?
We're honestly surprised that you're okay.
But who?
You look at the knights who all have their weapons pointed at the prosecutor.
Wait a minute. You think Steelwind did this?
It wasn't just Lord Pierce, Mr. Cuthbert.
Uh-oh.
We also found the bodies of Lord Von Sanctus and Lady Sybil.
Oh, shit! Triple homicide!
Not to mention a bunch of the King's Guard have gone comatose.
Comatose?
I don't want to believe it, but several people saw Steelwind acting off at the scenes of each of the murders.
We also found her unconscious here, and Pierce's body was lying next to her.
No, it wasn't her. I saw Beatrice before I passed out. She was the one that knocked us out.
Beatrice? What the hell is going on?
Commander White, you need to put me in a holding cell. It needs to be one with an anti-magic field.
What?
I'm a danger to everyone here. We need to go now.
What are you talking about?
Now is not the time. Do it, Commander.
Right. You're right.
You watch as the Inquisition arrests Steelwind and escort her out of the room.
Damn it! What happened?
I know you have many questions, Mr. Cuthbert, but we should make sure that you're okay.
yeah, there's a necromancer in the nave.
They have a point. I have no idea what happened while I was asleep. I'm following the suggestion. Go ahead.
You can follow their suggestion, but not before making a note of the current time. It's 3:12 p.m.
Who the heck is this?
I'll get him.
Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, except
What? What's wrong with him?
if you would just let me finish. There appears to be a trace of necromancy on you, Mr. Cuthbert.
Necromancy?
It's probably nothing. Did your assistant cast any spells on you?
Oh, right. I used healing magic on him when I found him unconscious.
Ah, I expected as much, but it never hurts to make sure. Anyways, nothing seems out of the ordinary. You're quite healthy. You should be fine to go about your business, but please speak with me again if you experience anything out of the ordinary.
Thank you.
I am Lord Lazaric Asclepius. I am Lord Lazaric Asclepius of House Asclepius.
Name, Lazaric Asclepius. Occupation, nobleman.
And there are no thanks needed. My apprentice apparently owes you a lot.
Apprentice?
Aldous Nightgrave. I believe he was one of your clients a few months ago.
Oh, right. Steelwind did mention that that she introduced you to. Speaking of Steelwind, I really find it hard to believe that she did this.
Mr. Cuthbert, Mage Blight isn't exactly a benign condition. When it takes hold of a mage, it doesn't matter what kind of person they are. Violent behavior is almost always a result of the delirium it puts them in. It's unfortunate, but mages have to be held responsible when cases like this happen.
Unless someone is framing her.
Tyrion, I fought her.
What?
Do you remember back when we heard that weird sound? I went outside to see what was going on. I saw her outside, and the guards there were all unconscious. I tried to ask her what was going on, but she didn't say anything. She just attacked me.
What was her emotional state like?
Oh. Well, she was pretty cold and emotionless. It almost looked like she was sleepwalking.
That's actually pretty strange.
What do you mean?
When someone is affected by mage blight, they enter a state of extreme psychosis. Psychotic episodes like that raise the affected mage's paranoia to ridiculous levels. That's why these cases almost always end up in violence. If she was affected by mage blight, she shouldn't have looked anywhere near as calm as you're describing. You might be onto something, Mr. Cuthbert.
If what you're saying is true, there has to be more to this.
You're planning to defend her, aren't you?
At the very least, we need to find out what actually happened. I feel like there's more to this than we're seeing.
But you saw her, right?
Commander White, you need to put me in a holding cell. It needs to be one with an anti-magic field.
What?
I'm a danger to everyone here. We need to go now.
She wanted them to arrest her.
Right, as if she thought she was a danger to others. Regardless of what really happened, she clearly believes that she was responsible for this. But there's no way that she'd do something like this. Something else is happening here, and I will get to the bottom of this. I'm not sure where each of the murders occurred, but the Inquisition should be able to tell me more about that. I'll also need to speak with Steelwind. If she really was affected by mage blight, she should be able to remember what may have caused it. But anyways, the prayer room is the room I'm most familiar with. I'll probably want to start there. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, so move to the prayer room, the murder scene.
Yeah. What a crazy... Okay.
You arrive at the prayer room. It's now swarming with knights from the Inquisition. You find yourself staring at the... Excuse me. You find yourself staring at the chalk outline of where Pierce's body once was. You can't help but feel a little uneasy. You've been to plenty of crime scenes before, but even if you were unconscious, you were here when the murder happened. It's a little unnerving knowing how close you came to death.
Are you okay?
Yeah. But now's not the time for an existential crisis. Steelwind's future counts on me figuring out what happened. I still don't know what happened after I fell unconscious. The Inquisition believes that Steelwind broke into this room, knocked me and Pierce out, and then killed him. But I remember it clearly. I saw Beatrice before I lost consciousness. There's more at play here than I realize. Celeste also fought Steelwind after Beatrice knocked me out. Perhaps she can tell me more about how she was acting.
Well, we already know how she was acting. So anyway, the fight with Steelwind.
All right, let's review what happened. Before Beatrice knocked me out, we heard a commotion outside and I went to investigate. You went to investigate. Can you tell me more about your fight with Steelwind? What was she like?
Well, she wasn't her usual self. It's like she was in some kind of daze.
Gotta hydrate.
I noticed it even before she attacked me. Something was wrong with her. Oh yeah, and she didn't even respond to me when I tried to talk to her. It's like she didn't even recognize me.
But from what Lord Asclepius said, she would have been acting more erratically if she was affected by mage blight. It's possible that you fought someone It's possible you fought someone disguised as her.
I guess that's possible. But whoever they were, their magic was still extremely powerful.
And several members of the Four Pillar families were assembled there. It could have been one of them. We should speak with Commander White when we get the chance. The Grand Cathedral was closed from the public for whatever was happening here. They probably have a list of everyone who was present when the murders happened. This means that whoever did this was one of the nobles that was here today.
You ever considered that Eris Illmatter might be the one behind all this?
Yes.
Because I guarantee you she's powerful enough if she's a demon, for Christ's sake. She's mad sus right now. Mad sus. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Or she's, and again, she's, and
Beatrice said to herself that Tyrion should be safe because she's probably the one trying to do all this shit. Anyway, Beatrice Frega. Beatrice can cast invisibility, so I doubt she'd let you see her. But did you see her at any point when you were fighting Steelwind? Celeste?
Sorry, I don't know. I was too focused on staying alive.
I've actually been meaning to ask you about that. Aren't you really strong? I've never even seen you break a sweat in a fight before.
Well, she was really tough. It was terrifying, honestly. It was mainly her magic. I never fought someone with spells that powerful before.
She didn't hurt you, did she?
No, but I got pretty close. I think she realized that she couldn't beat me, so she just ran past me and into the prayer room.
So her real target was Pierce, but why? Did you see the moment she murdered Pierce?
No. When I arrived at the prayer room, I saw you and Steelwind unconscious on the ground. And Pierce was already dead.
And I'm assuming you didn't see Beatrice anywhere.
No, she wasn't there when I arrived.
How did she leave the prayer room without Celeste noticing? Did she turn herself invisible?
Celeste's testimony added to the court record.
During the afternoon of the murder, Celeste McCoy heard a suspicious sound and investigated the hallway leading to the prayer room. There she saw Arya Steelwind fighting the guards. Arya didn't respond to Celeste's questions and attacked her as well. The two fought to a standstill and Arya pushed past her. When Celeste arrived at the prayer room, she found Tyrion and Arya unconscious, and Pierce was already dead. She didn't see Beatrice Frega at any point during the altercation. Weird. Okay, timeline. We showed up at the prayer room for the meeting at 1:50 p.m. Then we interrogated Pierce for about half an hour. That's when we heard that commotion outside, and you went to investigate it.
Right.
And I think Beatrice knocked me and Pierce out 10 minutes after that. How long did you fight Steelwind before she pushed past you?
We definitely fought for a while. It must have been at least 20 minutes. After that, she gave up on fighting me and ran into the prayer room.
Which means that Beatrice somehow got into the room during your fight. That discounts my theory of her disguising herself as Steelwind. I regained consciousness at 3:12 p.m. That means I was knocked out for more than 40 minutes. There are still a lot of unknowns about what happened. I need all the pieces if I want to put this puzzle together. All right. Let's see.
So, let's examine something here.
Yeah, let's look at the body. That's the first thing you do at a crime scene. It's a chalk outline of where Pierce's body probably was. Looks like he was sitting against this altar when he died. The blood stain seems to imply that the fatal wound came from his chest. An autopsy report would be really helpful here. I should ask the commander for a copy of it the next time I see him.
Detect magic, see what happens.
Arcane.
There's a shit ton of magic here.
There are traces of conjuration magic all over the room.
That must have been left by Beatrice's sleep spell.
Oh, there's a trace of transmutation here. It's all over the area around his body.
Interesting. Did the murderer wound him using a transmutation spell? And look at this.
There's a trace of necromancy on the ground here. It probably from when I tried to heal you.
Okay.
Damn. Well, anyways, it looks like I found everything I can here. Should move and take a closer look at the other crime scenes. Yeah, crime scenes. So, okay, we can do that. Oh my God, look at the common room. It's been burnt to a crisp.
You retrace your footsteps and find the common room. This was the last place you saw Von Sanctus and Sybil before everything happened. You look around and see that most of the room has been entirely scorched. You can still smell the scent of burnt cloth and flesh in the air.
Ugh, what happened here?
Was there some kind of fire?
Thanks, Bug.
Yeah, we think the perp lit a fire using magic.
As you enter the room, Commander White approaches you.
He seems to be accompanied by the typical Legion of Knights.
Commander White.
Hey, kid. You investigating what happened too?
Something like that. We just want to figure out what really happened.
You and me both. Nothing about this case makes any damn sense. I'll be honest, I could really use your help in trying to figure this out.
Honestly, I'm not sure who I can trust at this point. The commander is leading the investigation, and he's bound to have information that will be useful to me. I don't have any reason to not trust him. He's just a grumpy old man.
This whole situation is a damn mess.
Has the Inquisition found any clues to explain what happened?
We only have the basic stuff so far, and we've only just received the autopsy reports.
That's still pretty useful. Do you have copies of them?
Sure, knock yourselves out.
Autopsy report of Garrick Pierce has been added to the court record.
Died at 2:45 p.m. in the prayer room, so 15 minutes before Tyrion came to. No, half an hour. Cause of death was blood loss. A shard of frozen liquid was found stabbed through his heart. It is very likely that this was the murder weapon. The wound also shows heavy traces of transmutation magic, and traces of conjuration magic were found throughout the room.
Autopsy report of Corlin Sybil added to the court record.
Died at 2:18 p.m., so half an hour before Pierce. Cause of death was suffocation. Her body was found floating in a nearby lake outside of the Grand Cathedral. Traces of transmutation, evocation, and necromancy magic were found on the body.
Autopsy report of Lloyd Von Sanctus added to the court record.
Died at 2:05 p.m. The cause of death was suffocation. Wow, suffocation. The fire in the common room burnt the body too much to discern any specific wounds he might have suffered. However, a small trace of evocation magic and a burn mark were found in the victim's left shoulder. This implies that the body was hit with a fire-based evocation spell. Traces of abjuration magic were found on and around the body. Wait, Pierce was killed with a frozen blade? Isn't that similar to how he killed Flynnhart? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
It's still strange, though. Why would the murderer kill Pierce using such a convoluted method? If Steelwind really was affected by Mage Blight, she wouldn't have done something like that.
Murder of Garrick Pierce added to the court record.
The Inquisition found a frozen blade impaling Garrick Pierce through his heart. There were traces of transmutation on his blood. Supplies of murder used shape liquid to create this blade and murder him, which is oddly similar to how Pierce murdered Flynnhart McCoy. Why would the murderer do this when they clearly had more lethal spells at their disposal? Pierce used this method during Flynnhart's murder to leave as little evidence as possible. However, it's clear the murderer wanted to frame Arya and leave as much evidence as possible. Weird. Anyways, the times of death also seem to tell a story. If we look at the reports, the murderer must have killed Von Sanctus, then Sybil, then Pierce, in that order.
Yeah, that's our working theory too.
If we look at this map, we can see where the prayer room and the common room are. Lady Sybil's body was found in the lake west of here, but since the Grand Cathedral was built on a cliff, there isn't an easy way to get there in such a short amount of time. So that raises my next question. How did Sybil's body end up in the lake? The murderer threw Sybil from the balcony. The Grand Cathedral was built on a cliff over the lake, and the west ward balcony just happens to be right over it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We even have a witness who saw Steelwind there.
Really? Who was it?
It was High Speaker Theon Arceus.
High Speaker?
He's the shot caller of the Church of Bahamut, and he stands at the top of the religious hierarchy from what I hear.
Oh boy.
He spotted Steelwind near the west balcony and noticed that she was acting suspiciously. He called out to her, but she ignored him.
So she knew that he saw her, but she didn't attack him?
Yeah, he really lucked out.
But if she was having a psychotic episode, he would have noticed that. From what you said, all she did was ignore him.
You're right. This whole Mage Blight story doesn't really add up.
Either way, we'll just have to talk to him directly to find out more. Putting that aside, there's something else that's strange.
What's that?
It's about the order that the murders occurred in. What's strange about the order of the murders? The murderer killed Von Sanctus, Sybil, and Pierce in that order. This means that the murderer went to the common room, then the west balcony, and then finally the prayer room. But if we look at the map, the murderer's route seems to be a bit strange. Can we take a look at that? Hang on, let me see. So, map. Let me view it. So, okay, so they first went to the balcony.
The common room? Yeah, the common room, then the balcony.
Common room, then the balcony, and then the prayer room. That's a long way to go. Yeah,
He probably would have went to the prayer room second.
yeah. No, hang on a second. They could have went to the prayer room second because that's closer.
Yes.
I mean, still, 205, 215.
215, yeah, and 218.
No, hold on a second. No, let me take a look. So wait. So, okay, 205, 218, which was 13 minutes later, and then 245, another 13 minutes. They were 13 minutes apart exactly. But this 205, and then that was 40 minutes. The entire time, and then he was out for 40 minutes. But Tyrion awoke at 3:12, and 40 minutes before that would have been 2:40, about 2:40 p.m. 5 minutes before Pierce died. Okay, let's see. Steal the murderer purposefully
Could have, actually.
could have. The murderer could have killed Pierce second.
Yes.
The murderer must have passed right by the prayer room before they dumped Sybil's body. Why wouldn't they just murder Pierce on the way there?
Maybe they wanted to dump Sybil's body first.
Or they were afraid of finding me.
Aren't you giving yourself a little too much? Aren't you giving yourself a little too much credit?
No, she has a point. Out of everyone who fought the murderer, Celeste was the only one who didn't die of full comatose. Anyways, there has to be a reason why the murderer deliberately chose that route. Judging from each time of death... Go ahead.
Yeah, the murderer's route has been added to the court record.
Judging from each time of death, the murderer went from the common room to the balcony and then to the prayer room in that order. However, that wasn't the most direct route. There has to be an explanation for that. Okay, I've created a rough outline of the murderer's actions. The real clues will lie in how each of the individual murders occurred, and that starts with figuring out how Von Sanctus was murdered. So,
Let's talk to him.
Let's talk to him. How did the Inquisition find out about the murders anyways? Did a witness come across the bodies?
It all started when Prince Alaric ran up to us. He told us that he saw a fire breaking out in the common room. He also saw Steelwind there, but when he tried to talk to her, she hit him with some kind of spell.
She attacked one of the princes?
Yeah, but it didn't look like she hurt him. That guy from House Asclepius inspected him, and he told us he wasn't injured.
I'm glad that he's okay, but wouldn't Arya have used a more violent spell if she was being affected by Mage Blight?
It's possible she was throwing spells randomly, and he just happened to get really lucky.
Look, guys, it's so obvious that somebody was disguised as Arya and was wordlessly killing people. So Beatrice is probably responsible for all this, but she's having her strings pulled by Eris. That's what this is all going to come down to. They practically set it up for us. Anyway, I suppose it's possible, but was there anyone else nearby when this happened? I would have expected a Prince of Wivengard to be under constant guard.
Yeah, that was kind of my mistake. I ordered the knights to give him some space considering what just happened.
And that would be...
Sorry, kid. If you don't know, it's not my place to tell you. I have orders from the top to stay quiet about that.
Then it looks like I'll need to ask someone higher up. It's so strange, though. Why were all these nobles gathered here?
Anyways, whatever the perp hit him with, it only put him in a daze. He could barely walk or talk. He couldn't even approach us until the spell had worn off. And the weirdest about it all is that he was pretty close to where we were. But for some reason, we didn't find him until after the spell wore off.
That must have been traumatic. I hope he's okay. But why didn't anyone see him during this time?
After he told us about what was happening, we went to put out the fires. That's when we saw a bunch of guards knocked out outside the prayer room.
Did you see me?
No, this all happened around 3:10 p.m.
2 minutes before Tyrion woke up. Right. That was probably well after Steelwind moved into the prayer room. Celeste must have already followed her into it.
The report has been added to your court record.
Then the Inquisition discovered something was wrong when Alaric de Wivengard reported that a fire had broken out in the common room. He also told them that Arya Steelwind cast a spell on him earlier that severely debilitated his senses. When the Inquisition arrived at the scene, they spotted the unconscious guards outside the prayer room. They did not see Celeste McCoy and Arya Steelwind. This has all happened 3:10 p.m. Weird.
Talk to him again. Comatose guards.
When you arrested Steelwind, I recall you mentioning that a bunch of guards were comatose. Did the murderer use some kind of spell to knock them out?
I don't think so, and I'm just as lost as you are about that. Some of the victims didn't have any magical traces on them, so we know that they're not under the effects of a spell, but they still haven't woken up.
That's odd to say the least. Is there any uncommon thread between the knights who fell comatose that might help us deduce what happened to them?
Well, we found all of them at the locations where Steelwind was spotted. That can't be a coincidence.
But he just admitted that they weren't being affected by any kind of spell. What's going on here?
Comatose knights added to the court record.
Several knights from the Kingsguard were found unconscious after the bodies were found. They have been unresponsive since the massacre, and due to a lack of magical traces, they are clearly not being affected by any kind of arcane spell. Well, you know, they could have been gassed. They could have been, I don't know. I mean, could have been slipped Mickeys, maybe gas, like actual physical gas, but people would have known about that. Anyway, Arya Steelwind. Commander White, you keep saying the perp instead of Steelwind, even though everyone else seems to think she was responsible for this. Do you also suspect that she's being framed?
It just doesn't add up. If she did give herself mage blight, her actions wouldn't have been so deliberate.
And she's definitely not the type of person to just go around murdering people.
Even if she was, she's led a lot of the Inquisition's investigations recently. She's investigated plenty of homicides with us, and she knows exactly how we do things. Whoever did this got the job done, but they were sloppy about it. A bunch of witnesses saw her, and she didn't even try to hide herself using her magic. So either she had mage blight, which doesn't match with her behavior, or she did this intentionally and wanted to get caught. Neither scenario makes any damn sense.
Someone has to be framing her. That's the only reasonable explanation.
Honestly, I'm not so sure about that either.
What do you mean?
You saw her when we arrested her, didn't you? She wanted us to lock her up. It's like she thought she was a danger to herself and others.
Right, that's the same impression I got as well.
If it weren't for the witnesses' statements, I'd be sure she gave herself mage blight. The strangest thing is that I've never seen her that scared before. Something really rattled her about what happened.
Beatrice Frega. Did you follow up on what I said about Beatrice? I know she was in the room when Pierce and I fell unconscious. She has to be involved in this somehow.
Well, she's already in prison, so we're already ahead on that account. But when we asked her what happened, she said that she couldn't remember anything.
That's such an obvious lie. She has to be hiding something.
Normally I'd agree with you, but she's not the only one with missing memories. Steelwind also can't remember anything.
What? Looks like I'll have to speak with her about that. Anyways, what about Eris and that knight who was guarding her? Did they see anything?
Sorry, kid, but Eris Illmatter has been missing since everything went down.
What? Do you have any idea what happened to her?
No, but I wouldn't be too worried.
What? A witness to the crime is missing and possibly hurt.
Look, kid, you may be a hotshot attorney, but I've been in this business a lot longer than you have. Sometimes when these things happen to civilians, they get spooked and run away. I've seen it 1,000,000 times.
You feel like he's not making a big a deal of this as he should be. But he might have a point. Eris is the daughter of a crime lord, after all. She might have gone into hiding to avoid having to speak with law enforcement.
We don't have the resources to look for her, but I'm sure she'll turn up eventually.
Well, I suppose we can't do anything about that now, but I still hope she's okay. Oh, for crying out loud. She's got just spun around her finger. She's clearly responsible for this. Anyways, what about the knight guarding Beatrice? Surely he didn't go missing as well.
That's the thing. The knight who was supposed to be watching her is one of the people who went comatose. We found him in front of the prayer room, too.
Damn it. What happened to him?
To make matters worse, that Frega chick knows how to cast invisibility. So even if she was telling the truth, very few people would have actually seen her.
But her guard was in front of the prayer rooms. She must have brought him there somehow.
Beatrice's actions updated in your notes.
Okay, let's start for a brief moment. Could have been an illusion. That means she somehow entered the prayer room at 2:30 p.m. And again, that was right around the time that, well, it was halfway between when Sybil was dumped into the ocean and when Pierce died. A knight was assigned to guard Beatrice and kill her if Mornath attempted to escape. He was later found comatose in front of the prayer room. Eris Illmatter, who was also with Beatrice when she disappeared, has been missing since the massacre. Anyways, would you happen to have a recent version of a spell compendium?
Sure, we already have it on record.
Beatrice's spell compendium has been added to the court record.
Beatrice Frega's spell compendium. It contains the formulas for the following spells: Familiar Bond, Sleep, Mend Wounds, Send Message, Animate Corpse, Necrotic Blight, Shatter, Invisibility, Feign Death, and Illusory Disguise.
Familial bond added to the court record.
We already know what this is all about. She can talk to animals.
Mend wounds added to the court record.
Spell can't restore missing limbs, nor can it revive someone who's already died, but heals the wound of the target over the casting time.
Send message added to the court record.
Yep. Target must be known to the caster. Aster said that. Aster cast that too, so anyway.
Animate corpse added to the court record.
Reanimates the target using life energy, creating an undead minion for the duration for 8 hours. The minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and cannot speak. The minion can end the spell prematurely, but will only do so if ordered to by the caster. Once the spell is ended, the undead will return to being a dead body. So, Well, okay, so Animate Corpse probably wasn't done, but anyway.
Necrotic blight added to the court record.
Pulls all of the life energy from the target, resulting in instant death. This spell does not wound the target, nor does it leave any physical evidence, but still leaves a magical trace. So yeah, this is Advada Kedavra right here.
Shatter has been added to your notes.
The Shatter channels the caster's magic into any physical object they are touching with their hands. If enough magic is channeled, the object may shatter or break. The intensity of the spell will exponentially increase while they are concentrating. However, channeling larger quantities of magic will slowly drain the caster's stamina and possibly cause Mage Blight.
Invisibility added to the court record.
One of the highest ones is illusion magic. The spell makes target creature or object completely invisible. While invisible, target will be completely transparent, undetectable visually. Targeting a creature, the spell will also affect anything the creature is wearing or holding.
Feign death added to the court record.
Now this is different. The caster must target a creature that's already unconscious. While they concentrate on this spell, the target will appear to be dead. The target creature will stop breathing and their heart will stop beating. However, the life energies of this spell will keep them alive for the duration, which is indefinitely, until, turn it around. So,
On your bit, Jazz, I don't know what happened. I just felt like it needed to be said.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea. But anyway.
Illusory disguise added to the court record.
Places an illusion on the target to completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. The disguise can make the target look 1 foot larger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible, and elements created by the spell are purely visual. You cannot make physical contact with it. So I wonder, was Celeste able to make contact with Steelwind? Because she could have been affected by illusory disguise, which, could have been Beatrice she was fighting, not Steelwind. Anyway. Right, I forgot how many spells she used during Lord Frega's murder. And then now for the first victim. It's all a little difficult to take in. I still can't believe it. After everything he did, Von Sanctus was just murdered.
I'm surprised to hear that from you. Didn't he basically get away with offing Justin Way? The way I see it, he got what he deserved.
That still doesn't sit right with me. No matter who the victims might have been, no one deserves to die like that.
You're definitely a bigger man than I am.
Anyways, Von Sanctus's autopsy report says that he died of suffocation.
We think the murderer overpowered him and choked him with a rope or something.
That hardly sounds like something someone would do during a psychotic episode.
Yeah, the more info I get, the more I think he might be onto something. But either way, the fire that the perp started in this room burned his body. He didn't completely turn it into ash, but it was still pretty charred.
So that fire would have burnt away any evidence of the minor wounds he had.
Yeah, we're lucky we even discerned he was hit with an evocation spell.
Right, the autopsy report mentioned that too. But if a fire was started, is it possible that he died from smoke inhalation?
No, the divination spell we use always identifies smoke inhalation as death by poisoning, not death by suffocation.
I suppose it kind of makes sense, but it's still a shame we can't find out how the murderer suffocated him. Hang on, I gotta look at something. So Homeboy was hit with an evocation spell. Shatter's an evocation spell. Shape liquids transmutation. Sleep is conjuration. School divination, necromancy. Okay. So he must have been hit with Shatter, and then Shatter might have started the fire, because that's, again, he was hit with an evocation spell. So anyway, talk spell compendiums. We still know very little about how the murders occurred. Do you have records of each of the victims' spell compendiums? They might help us understand what each of the victims was doing during the attack.
Sure, knock yourselves out.
Garrett Priest's spell compendium has been added to the court record.
Contains these: prestidigitation, conjure light, conjure water, frost wave, and shape liquid. Yep, I remember that.
Sybil's spell compendium added to the court record.
She has slow fall, foresight, strike true, detect magic, stone skin, and mend wounds.
And Von Sanctus' spell compendium added to the court record.
Mage blade, force cage, send message, and mend wounds. Force cage?
Prestidigitation added to the court record.
Caster creates a simple and harmless visual effect around their hand. This effect will last as long as they maintain concentration.
Conjure light added to the court record.
For the duration of the spell, mode of electrical light appears in the caster's hand. The color of light is chosen by the caster and can change the will for the spell's duration. This mode of light produces a limitation up to 15 feet of the caster and no further.
Conjure water added to the court record.
Causes water to magically flow out of the caster's hand. The water will flow so long as the caster maintains concentration.
Frostwave added to the court record.
Anything caught within range is hit with a blast of extremely cold air. Liquid state will be immediately frozen, and organic life will immediately enter stages of hypothermia.
Force cage added to the court record.
An abjuration spell. Now remember, so Von Sanctus was probably trying to use an abjuration spell to protect himself. For the duration, the caster creates a magical 10-foot, 10-foot, 10-foot cube around a target within 30 feet of them. The walls of this cube are impenetrable and can't be destroyed by anything, not even by spells that can normally dispel spell effects. Furthermore, any attempts to magically teleport into or out of the cube will fail. If there is more than one creature in the target's space, they will be pushed away from the center of the cube. Interesting.
Mage blade added to the court record.
For the duration of the spell, the edges of this object, usually a blade, become unnaturally sharp, making it more effective at slashing through tough material. While under the effects of the spell, the object emits a yellow radiant glow. The target object must be no larger than a 5-foot cube.
Slow fall added to the court record.
The caster counteracts the force of gravity, affecting them, causing them to fall significantly slower when airborne for the duration. Fethura. And duration for an hour.
Foresight added to the court record.
The caster invokes the ultimate form of divination magic to see brief glimpses of the near future. While this spell is active, the caster is able to sense danger seconds before it actually happens.
Strike true added to the court record.
Make a circle with a thumb and index finger. The caster increases their ability to predict the results of all their actions for the duration. This is useful for the purposes of aiming or doing other activities that rely on dexterity and skill.
Of course, detect magic added to the court record.
While concentrated casters use invisible magical traces left by magic. Magical traces are created two times when a spell is cast. The first is created at the position of the caster when a spell is cast. The second is created when the spell effect resolves or dissipates. The caster can identify the school of magic of any trace by color. So red, evocation is red, transmutation yellow, conjuration cyan, divination pink, abjuration white, necromancy purple, illusion green.
And stone skin has been added to the court record.
The caster creates a thick layer of stone around their body. This stone layer will deflect and protect the caster from any physical trauma. The stone layer can be slowly broken through continuous attacks, but as long as the caster concentrates on this spell, the stone layer will instantaneously repair itself. Okay. Wow. That's a lot to work through.
Yep. Yep. This is what happens when a bunch of mages are caught in the middle of a murder. Honestly, you've been lucky until now.
Nevertheless, I'll need to look over each of these spells when they become relevant. Alright, that's done.
Okay, so examine something, detect magic, see what trace you find.
Of course. There's a chalk outline in the center of the room. This must be where they found Von Sanctus's body. There's even bits of ash there. Must be the burnt fragments of the body. And then the rest of it. The scorch marks all over the room. The fire must have spread pretty far.
Yeah, it was probably going for a while. No one even noticed it until Prince Alaric told the Kingsguard that he saw smoke.
Interesting. We should speak with him and see if he saw anything else. Alright. Oh, look at the window. Even now, the sunlight is shining through the stained glass windows. Looks like the fire reached them before it was put out. Alright, here we go.
Prepario Arcanum.
Well, there's the cage.
There's a trace of abjuration magic in the center of the room.
Do the traces overlap with the body?
Kind of. It's sort of square-shaped.
Square-shaped? I can't see the traces, but there also seems to be a square-shaped outline around the body.
You're right. They overlap perfectly.
The area inside the square is a lot less burnt now that I look at it. I'm not sure what this means yet, but it's definitely worth taking note of.
One seconds of traces of abjuration added to the court record.
Traces of abjuration magic that form a perfect square around the body. The area within the square seems far less burnt, too. And take a look at this.
There's a trace of revocation magic near the body.
That matches his autopsy report. The murderer must have hit him with an evocation spell.
There are traces of evocation magic in a bunch of different spots around the room.
Probably how they set the fire.
We think the perp threw a bunch of fire-based evocation spells around to start the fire. And the Kingsguard used a bunch of water-based evocation spells to put it out before the fire spread.
That makes sense. With that knowledge in mind, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. Yeah, so everything seems to be normal. I think I found everything I can relating to Van Sanctus's murder. Perhaps I should move somewhere else. Yeah, so now now we're moving to the west balcony.
You arrive at the west-facing balcony off the cathedral. Supposedly, this is where the murderer threw Sybil's body into the lake. Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
As you inspect the area, you catch the attention of an old man nearby. From his garb, he appears to be someone who works at the cathedral.
I don't believe we've met before. What are you doing here? Sorry for the intrusion. I'm Tyrion Cuthbert, and this is my bodyguard, Celeste McCoy.
We're investigating the murders on behalf of Prosecutor Steelwind.
Tyrion Cuthbert, I have heard of you. He doesn't look nearly as criminal as I expected him to be. Judging from his thoughts, he probably hasn't heard many good things about me. But forgive my rudeness. I am Theon Archeus, High Speaker of the Church of Bahamut. Sorry, what's that? I didn't quite catch that.
Name, Theon Arceus. Occupation's High Speaker.
I really hope I'm able to pull him off.
Yeah, that's a good voice.
So you're the one who saw Steelwind here doing the murders. Do you mind if we ask you some questions?
He scans you warily.
I suppose there would be no harm in that. What did you see? We heard that you saw the prosecutor acting strangely here. Could you tell us more about what you saw? Did it look like she was having a psychotic episode? I wouldn't go that far, but she was certainly acting strangely. How did you come across her? Well, I was on my way to the prayer room. I always recite prayers from the draconic texts around that time. Wait, he was heading to the prayer room? When I saw her, I first thought she was just enjoying the view of the lake. I was about to greet her. But when I approached her, I saw that she was throwing something off the edge of the balcony. You must have seen her dumping Sybil's body. You're probably correct. I came to the same conclusion after they found that poor woman's body below us. Though, what is it? I only saw it for a second, so perhaps I'm wrong. But Lady Sybil was wearing much brighter colors this morning. Whatever Lady Steelwind threw into the lake, it looked much darker. What does that mean? I'm sorry, I can't really explain it. Perhaps I was just seeing things. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be after all. It could have been just a trick of the light.
Arceus' encounter has been added to the court record.
Theon Arceus was on his way to the prayer room to recite his prayers. On his way there, he spotted Arya Steelwind throwing something off the west balcony. He wasn't able to see what she threw, but after Corinne Sybil's body was found in Lake Galacrond, he assumed the object must have been Sybil's body. However, he could have sworn that he saw something darker, but he's still not sure. How much you want to bet that Sybil's kind of behind all this?
Wait,
Well, she does have a spell that can. She does have a spell. Well, maybe she got set on fire too. Who knows? Anyway,
no.
the prayer room. Wait, if you saw Arya dumping Lady Sybil's body, she must have just murdered her. That means you must have been heading to where we were at that time. Oh, were you praying there with Lord Pierce? Not exactly. What? That's not what the guards told me. The guards? Do you mean the ones standing watch outside the prayer room? Yes. They told me that Pierce was praying with some acquaintances of his. They said the same thing to Lady Steelwind as well. Wait, Steelwind was there too? Yes, she appeared to be waiting for something. But anyways, I didn't want to disturb them, so I went back to my quarters to pray there. The High Speaker didn't see her fighting Celeste. She must have started her attack after he left. But why would she bother waiting? Either way, we can't exactly question those guards.
Yeah, they're still comatose after the attack.
Arceus' testimony.
Arceus' testimony added to the court record, updated in the court record.
After witnessing this, he attempted to enter the prayer room but was turned away by the knights guarding it. That's weird. Why didn't you hear anything? Actually, the High Speaker's quarters aren't that far away from the prayer room. How did you not hear anything? It must have been because of the magical wards in my room. Magical wards? Are they there for security reasons? Not exactly. I actually suffer from chronic insomnia. Even the smallest sound will wake me up at night. Years ago, I had some mages enchant the walls so sound couldn't travel through them. I can't hear anything from outside the room once I shut my door. That does sound awfully convenient, but I doubt that he'd lie about something I could so easily verify. Either way, I should make a note of this.
Soundproof room has been added to the court record.
Supposedly, Theon Arceus suffers from chronic insomnia and can be woken by even the smallest sound. As such, the walls of the High Speaker's quarters are completely soundproof once he closes the door. This should explain why Arceus didn't hear the fight between Celeste McCoy and Arya Steelwind. I want to look at some stuff before we go any further. This balcony provides a perfect view of Lake Galacrond. A lot of people probably come here when the Grand Cathedral is open to the public. I can see a military stronghold in the distance.
They must be able to see a lot from that high up.
There's some sort of debris on the ground.
You pick up one of the pieces and feel it in your hands. It appears to be some kind of gravel.
Interesting.
Imperio Arcanum.
Oh, look at this.
There are traces of transmutation on the pieces of this debris.
That would imply that a spell specifically targeted or created whatever this came from. But I doubt someone created these bits of gravel. Must have broken off from something else.
Debris near the balcony added to the court record.
You found some bits of Earth-like debris near the West Ward balcony. They have traces of transmutation magic on them. This also happens to be where Theon Arceus saw Arya Steelwind dumping Coraline Sybil's body. And remember, they said that it was darker. I believe I found everything I can here. Perhaps I should move somewhere else.
The garden, I suppose.
Yeah, and kind of funny I was able to do all that shit. So anyway, the garden. Why is that unicorn got a party hat on?
You arrive back at the cathedral's garden and come across that accursed statue again.
It's staring into my soul.
Then stop looking at it.
As you move your attention away from the grotesque sculpture, you spot the Crown Prince. He's sitting on the bench, guarded by some knights from the Kingsguard. His brow is furrowed, and he seems to be deep in thought. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert, and Miss McCoy, too. What are you still doing here?
We're trying to investigate what happened. We were looking around when we just happened to find you here.
I see.
Are you okay?
Yes, I was just thinking how unfortunate this ordeal has been. I do hope Miss Steelwind has taken this well.
Right, she is his fiancée after all. He must be extremely worried about her. We're trying to find out what exactly happened. Do you mind if we ask you some questions?
I see. Well, I'll do whatever I can to help.
Let me examine this. Let me look at this thing. What goes through the mind of such a tortured creature?
What is with you and this statue?
I don't know, but I can feel its emotions as if they were my own.
It's an inanimate object, Tyrion.
Let's detect magic.
Repario Arcanum.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Okay, any other pieces of interest? Not a damn thing. Talk to him. Steelwind's trial.
You said that you two were investigating the murders. You weren't planning to defend Miss Steelwind, were you?
If she would have me, she may be a competent prosecutor, but I have far more experience defending clients.
Unfortunately, I think the situation is more complicated than that.
What do you mean?
Several house leaders died today. We can't release this information to the public. Not after the news of William Frega's death has already spread. In the course of 2 months, we've lost not 1, but 3 members of the Pillar families.
But the trial has to happen soon, or else the magical traces left will disappear.
From what I've heard, we will be holding a trial, but it will be handled privately and internally. And I'm sorry to say that you won't be permitted to serve in such a trial.
Right, a majority in the nobility hates me after all. Would you be able to pull some strings, Asta?
I'm sorry. I'd like nothing more than to give you the opportunity to represent her. But I clearly have a personal attachment to this case. If I tried to tip the trial in her favor, it would only harm her chances more.
Right, I see what you mean. But even if we can't help her during the trial, we can still investigate the crimes on her behalf.
Yes, I would really appreciate that. If new evidence is found, perhaps we can exonerate Miss Steelwind of the charges against her.
The gathering of nobles. After everything that's happened, I really need to know. Why were so many nobles gathered in one place anyways? All 4 of the Pillar families were present. I understand if you don't want to tell me, but this information could be vital in figuring out what really happened.
No, I see your point. The truth is, we all gathered to mourn the death of my father, King Olivier de Wyverngarde IX.
Oh shit, so he's dead. Wait a minute, so who was that dude at the front then? Anyway. Wait, the king is dead?
Yes, we wanted to avoid releasing this information to the public so close to the death of William Frega. My father has been ill for quite some time, so we were prepared for this. Or at least, I thought I was. We also lost my mother when I was quite young. But it's still a little hard to take in.
I'm sorry. You have my condolences.
Thank you.
But if King Olivier is dead, that would make you...
Yes. You currently stand before King Asta de Wyverngarde, ruler of our kingdom.
Considering everything that's happened, he seems less than thrilled about that. I suppose that explains why all of these nobles were gathered.
They came under the guise of paying their respects, but it's clear they all wanted to get closer to the new king of Wyverngarde. I think the Fregas were the only ones who generally came to give their condolences.
Beatrice Frega. Speaking of the Fregas, I think you need to know. I saw Beatrice before I was knocked out. I think she may have been the one that killed Garrick Pierce.
Why would she be there?
I'm sorry, I know she's your friend, but we already know she's not above committing murder.
I see. I suppose if you're saying it, it must be so. What possible reason would she have to be involved in something like this?
I'm not sure yet, but I plan to find that out. Alright, Steelwind. By the way, where were you during the murders? I remember you left with Steelwind when Celeste and I arrived at the cathedral.
Ah, yes. Steelwind and I left to speak with High Speaker Arcane in his quarters.
What was your meeting about?
It was actually about our wedding. With my father's death, Lord Steelwind wanted to finally make our union official.
Oh! I would congratulate you two, but considering the circumstances...
I understand, and I appreciate your words nonetheless.
Anyways, how long did this meeting last?
I believe we spoke with him until 1:40 p.m.
But Von Sanctus died at 2:05 p.m. That means she began her rampage less than half an hour after that meeting. Was there anything off about her behavior?
Now that you mention it, something about her demeanor changed. We were speaking of the wedding when she abruptly left. I asked her where she was going, but she ignored me.
That sounds similar to what happened when Celeste fought her. There's no way she was affected by Mage Blight.
Marriage meeting has been added to the court record.
From 1:15 p.m. to 1:40 p.m., Master de Wivengard and Arya Steelwind spoke with High Speaker of the Anarchists about their upcoming wedding. At 1:40 p.m., Steelwind abruptly left the meeting and didn't answer Esther when asked where she was going. She met with the two of them in the prayer room right before they started talking to Pierce. So, and when did that start, I wonder? Anyway.
I honestly didn't think much of it at the time. I'm quite used to her giving me the cold shoulder.
Right.
It's possible that the Steelwind the witnesses saw wasn't actually real. Does that mean the Steelwind that attended the meeting was also a fake? You know something? Hey, Package, you smell that?
Well, Athena, you smell that?
I smell plot with a capital P-U.
Indeed. What did you
Damn right,
see?
sister.
Anyways, what happened after your meeting with the High Speaker? Did you see Steelwind after that?
Actually, I found myself caught up in something else entirely. At 2 p.m., I went to pay my respects at my father's coffin. But apparently, someone had set a magical trap there.
What?
It was a glyph of contingency.
Glyph of contingency added to the court record.
When casting this spell, the caster must choose another spell they know. The caster casts that spell, but the contingent spell doesn't come into effect. Instead, it takes effect when a certain condition, specified by the caster upon casting this spell, is fulfilled. The contingent spell takes effect immediately when that condition is fulfilled. Interesting.
I have heard of that spell. It's like a trap you can set, and you can infuse any spell into it.
But it requires a second contingent spell to place that trap. Which spell was it?
It was a force cage targeting me.
Was the murderer trying to attack Aster too?
I don't think so. They would have used a more lethal spell if they wanted to. From the sounds of it, Force Cage can't be dispelled, so Aster would have been trapped inside of it for that full hour.
We think the murderer used this as a distraction. Because of that trap, the King's Guard consolidated most of their attention and forces on my location.
Oh, really? Yeah, that could be it. That could be part of it.
As a result, there were fewer people guarding Von Sanctus, Sybil, and Pierce. And the ones that were there all fell comatose. They can't tell us what happened to them.
The trapped king added to the court record.
At 2 p.m., Aster de Wivengard went to pay his respects to his father's coffin. Unbeknownst to him, however, there was a glyph of contingency set to trap him inside a force cage. The trap triggered, and Aster was trapped in a magical cage for its duration. This caused the Kingsguard to consolidate their forces at Aster's location. As a result, Lloyd von Sanctus, Coraline Sybil, and Garrick Pierce were left with far fewer guards defending them. And yet another inexplicable event is added to the list. From everything I've learned, I highly doubt that Steelwind was affected by Mage Blight. So someone must be behind what happened. But who? Anyways, it seems he's told me everything he knows. He probably didn't witness much after he was trapped by that force cage. Should move somewhere else and follow my other leads. Indeed. Yep. Yeah, and then the last part.
She attacked a member of the royal family and killed several nobles. What else is there to investigate? The laws are clear about what we must do. We should execute her immediately.
Alaric, this situation is of far too much import to make such rash decisions. We need to approach this calmly and carefully. As you return to the nave, you spot the young prince in an argument with that nobleman you saw earlier.
Yeah, who is this dude?
Now that you think of it, you still have no idea who he is.
Oh, it's you two?
Your Highness, and I don't think we've been introduced.
What?
I see you still as insolvent as ever. You stand before Sir Remus Frega.
Virgily.
You stand before Sir Remus Frega, Archduke and Royal Advisor to the Wivengard throne.
I believe he means advisor. Name? Remus Virgile. Occupation? Royal Advisor.
Let's get a look at his spell compendium, shall we? Archduke? I didn't even know the Kingdom of Wivengard had a title like that. Why haven't I ever heard of him before?
Why are you two still here anyways? I thought the cathedral was closed for the investigation.
We're investigating what happened on behalf of Prosecutor Steelwind.
I see. Anyways, I have much to attend to. I'll be taking my leave. You sense a tinge of anxiety. Is he avoiding you?
Actually, since we have you here, we have some questions for you. The both of you.
You should know your place, knave.
All right, talk to him.
What did Virgile see? Your Grace, where were you when the murders took place?
Just what are you trying to insinuate?
Please, Alaric, there's no need for that. To answer your question, I was speaking with Lady Frega's familiar.
Ah, the demon.
Mornath.
Unless
Tracker?
it was the tracker?
No, it was the demon who calls himself... It was the demon who calls himself Mornath.
What? Why would you want to speak with him?
He was actually the one that sent for me. According to him, he had some information that was of great import to me.
You didn't make a contract with him, did you?
Of course not. What kind of desperate fool do you take me for? No, he gave me the information he had freely.
But why would he do that? Demons are supposedly always trying to trick humans into making deals with them.
We got a thunderstorm in the area, just so you know.
All right.
Looking back, it must have been a distraction. What a fool I was. I knew he was playing with me. But I knew he couldn't tell lies, and the information he had was too important to ignore.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the information about?
I'm sorry, but I can't reveal what he told me. It could endanger people that I care about. But rest assured, I doubt it has anything to do with the massacre.
Any small detail can have the possibility to be about this stuff. Your Grace, we've only just met. I can't exactly just take your word for it.
I suppose that's fair. But believe me when I say that I plan to take this information to my grave.
Time out. What if this guy is Celeste McCoy's real father. Listen, we have absolutely no idea who the... Again, what did this whole thing start out with? I know who Celeste McCoy's birth parents are, and Garrick Pierce had that information. But who was he trying to deliver that information to? Huh? Anyway, let's keep going.
Gotta prove it.
That's ominous, but he's clearly intent on keeping the conversation a secret.
Anyways, several members of the King's Guard were watching us. They can verify my alibi.
How long did this conversation last?
I arrived to them at 1:50 p.m. and I didn't leave until 3:10 p.m.
So the entire time he was talking to him, this whole shit was going on.
Virgile's alibi has been added to the court record.
The demon Moranath called Archduke Remus Virgile to meet with him at 1:50 p.m. He apparently had very important information that Virgile couldn't ignore. Virgile spoke with Moranath till 3:10 p.m. The members of the King's Guard guarding the demon can verify this. But they're all comatose, aren't they? So he was accounted for during the time frame of the murders. But why would Moranath go to the trouble of distracting him in the first place? Whoever orchestrated this also used a force cage to trap Asta. Were they trying to distract the forces in the cathedral? Or were they trying to keep certain people out of the crossfire? Either way, it's clear that Beatrice has a lot to answer for.
All right.
Steel Wind spell. Yeah, we gotta talk to Alaric about that. Your Highness, we heard that the prosecutor cast a spell on you when you saw the fire in the common room. Can you tell us more about what happened?
I can't believe she attacked a member of the royal family. She was completely irresponsible with her magic.
I understand your feelings about this. We can't say for certain that she inflicted mage blight on herself. We don't even know if it was actually her.
I saw her with my own eyes. Plenty of other people did too.
Either way, where did this happen?
He was on the path outside the common room. I saw smoke coming from the building, and I saw Steelwind walking away from it.
So this must have been after she murdered Von Sanctus. I have a feeling I already know the answer, but was she behaving erratically?
No, she very deliberately cast a spell on me.
Which once again implies that Mage Blight wasn't behind this. Do you know which spell she cast on you?
I'm not sure. I've never been affected by a spell like that before.
From the magical traces on him, we know that it was a transmutation spell.
Transmutation spells manipulate and change physical matter. It's scary to think about what that might do to a human body. Are you sure he's okay?
Lord Asclepius inspected him, and he doesn't appear to have any lasting injuries. We're hoping the spell's effects were only temporary.
Can you describe what you felt while you were affected by it? That might help us identify which spell it was.
Well, I was extremely dazed, and my ears were ringing. My vision was also partially blurred. It was as if my mind was in some sort of fog. Whenever I tried to speak, I couldn't even form words with my mouth. I could only make grunting sounds. I couldn't walk either, so I had to crawl on the floor.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. That must have been traumatic. But what kind of transmutation spell would do that to him? Had to be something that affected his senses.
Talk to him about his demeanor or something.
You already told us that she wasn't acting erratically. Was there anything off about her demeanor?
I only saw her for a moment, but she was definitely different than usual. She was completely emotionless.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was like when I fought her too.
It's like she was an arcane construct. Her movements were almost robotic.
Oh, hey. might be onto something here, pal. But then, wait. Are there any arcane constructs on the cathedral grounds?
No, not for lack of trying on Lord Van Sanctus's part. The High Speaker and I have specifically forbidden the staff here from using them.
It would be really convenient if all this was done using a construct. Although I am a little tired of seeing them in my cases. Anyways, was anyone else around when Steelwind cast that transmutation spell on you?
No, she moved away quickly after she incapacitated me. And even if someone was around, I don't think I could have seen them anyways.
Alaric's testimony has been added to the court record.
Alaric de Wivengard saw Arya Steelwind exiting the common room. He saw that a fire had started there. When he asked Steelwind what's going on, she cast a transmutation spell on him. The spell blurred his vision and put him in a daze. His ears were ringing and he was unable to speak or walk properly. He can only move by crawling on the ground. Strangely, no one saw him while he was in this state. Commander White also said that he was surprised no one saw the prince until after that spell wore off. What happened to him? That covers Alaric's account of what happened, and we even got the Archduke's statement too. But still one last person we need to speak to.
Arya.
She and Beatrice supposedly have no memories of what happened. If it were only Beatrice saying that, I'd probably doubt it. But if Steelwind also doesn't have any memories, it becomes a lot more credible. She definitely has the missing piece we need to put this together.
Are you going to the dungeon to speak with her?
I am.
Wonderful. I'll be accompanying you.
What?
As a royal advisor, I have a vested interest in the investigation. While I trust Lucia to leave no stone unturned, I hear you have quite the talent for seeing what the crowd cannot.
Well, it's not as if I have the authority to stop him. I still don't know him very well. I'll need to be wary of what I say in front of him. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so what the hell's that all about, you know?
You arrive at the dungeon and see the prosecutor sitting in a holding cell. She seems extremely stressed, as if she's trying to figure something out.
Mr. Cuthbert, and your grace.
Steelwind gives a wary look to the Archduke.
How are you doing?
As best as I can, all things considered. What brings you here?
We're trying to investigate everything that happened.
I see.
I was wondering if you could answer some of our questions. Steelwind, I know your situation is pretty grim right now, but you know you can trust me.
You're not the person I'm worried about. At this moment, I don't even know if I can trust myself.
What? The hell is she talking about? All right, what happened? We heard that you don't have any memories of what happened. Is that true?
It is. No matter how much I try, I can't recall anything.
What is the last thing you remember?
I believe I was leaving my meeting with the High Speaker and His Majesty. After the meeting, I was planning to return to the nave to speak with my father, but I suddenly felt extremely nauseous. I thought some fresh air might help me feel better, so I went to the balcony.
The one over Lake Gullicrond?
Yes, that one. The last thing I remember was losing consciousness as I looked at the lake.
And did you cast any magic before this happened?
No, I didn't.
Are you sure you don't remember anything after that?
I don't. All I remember is waking up to the sound of someone sobbing. It was Celeste. She was crying over your unconscious body, Mr. Cuthbert.
Steelwind's testimony added to the court record.
Arya Steelwind has no memories of what happened after she left her meeting with Theon Arceus and Esther de Wivengard. After she left the meeting, she began heading to the nave to meet with her father. However, she suddenly felt nauseous and went to the westward balcony. She lost consciousness soon after. She later regained consciousness in the prayer room when she heard Celeste McCoy crying over your unconscious body. She did not cast any magic before she fell unconscious. So there's a problem right there. So Steelwind was not at... she wasn't at the place where Von Sanctus died. All right, and that meeting. Okay, we gotta dig into this shit. All right, hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so remember, he died at 2:05 p.m. Now, Coraline Sybil died at 2:18. So, what time? Can we find out what time? Okay.
What time? What?
What time did that meeting end? You know, the meeting with okay. At 2 p.m., Aster de Wivegard went to pay his respects at his father's coffin. The demon Mornath called Archduke Remus Vajoli to meet him with him at 1:50 p.m. So all this shit started to kick off at about 2 o'clock. All this shit started to kick off at 2 o'clock. And then, and 5 minutes after Aster went to the coffin, he died. So it was Lloyd Van Sanctus died. So let's see. Somehow entered the prayer room at 2:30 p.m., which he died at 2:45. So during the afternoon of the murder, I would really like to know. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. He was on his way to the prayer room to recite his prayers. So shortly before he went to pay respects. So yeah. So okay. Here it is. At 1:40 p.m., Steelwind abruptly left the meeting and didn't answer Aster when asked where she was going. So if she went to the balcony to try to get some air and fell unconscious at that point, then yeah, she would have had enough time to walk over to Von Sanctus to kill him, go back to the balcony and dump her over, and go back to the prayer room and off Pierce. So something's off. Something's way off about this. Anyway. Magic that can affect the mind. Remember. I feel like we've completely ruled out Mage Blight, so I doubt that's why you can't remember anything. Are there any spells that can specifically modify or destroy people's memories? Would certainly explain a lot of this.
No. Arcane spells can only affect the physical world. But throughout history, mages have attempted to develop spells that can affect the mind. There's no recorded history of any of them succeeding.
But you're assuming that arcane spells are the only type of magic that exists.
What?
I think you've observed it already. There are magical creatures in this world that don't use arcane magic. Isn't that right, Mr. Cuthbert?
What? Does he know about the Eye of Horus? I'm not sure what you're trying to imply.
Don't take me for a fool. Several of my associates attended Frega's trial, and they all heard what the demon referred to you as.
Heavensborn.
If I learned that Lumina had anything to do with this...
Your Grace, I'm not an agent of the Theocracy. And even if what you're saying is true, I wasn't the one who manipulated Steelwind's memories. Mornath might have done it, or Eris, who's a demon. But I suppose you raise a good point. If something affected Steelwind's memories, it wasn't necessarily an arcane spell. In fact, it couldn't have been an arcane spell. It was definitely something else.
You're probably right. Which proves that I'm responsible for the murders.
What? The hell are you talking about? You just said that you don't have any memories of what happened. Why are you so convinced that you're responsible for this? I told the Inquisition already. I saw Beatrice before I passed out. She's clearly involved in this somehow.
There's more to this than you realize, Mr. Cuthbert. For the past few months, the Inquisition and I have been investigating a string of seemingly unrelated murders. During each of those cases, we were able to apprehend the perpetrator without issue. But there was always something off about them during questioning. The murders were always abnormally gruesome and passionate, and each of the perpetrators said the same thing. They all said that they had no choice.
No choice?
Cases like this have been occurring throughout Rivengard, and very little connects the perpetrators to each other. All except one thing. Each of them acted as if someone had controlled them against their will.
They were probably just desperate. Most murderers try to make excuses after they're caught. They could even just be in complete denial.
Orem said the same thing, but these cases were far too similar for me to ignore. I wondered if they were telling the truth. Perhaps each of these murders was committed by an unknown party. I didn't have any concrete evidence, but I knew I was getting closer to something.
The Purple Conspiracy. Steelwind, I don't mean to be rude, but this sounds...
Completely insane?
You don't even have any physical evidence to prove these murders are connected.
There's one piece of evidence, but it's hardly concrete. But it does tie each of these cases together.
She takes out a small parchment from her pocket and shows it to you.
It's a purple symbol.
Several of the people we arrested had an item with this symbol on it. None of them could remember where it came from or even what it was. But they all somehow knew that it was called the Purple Mark.
Yup. Just remember there was the purple mark on the guy's desk. But there has to be an explanation for this. It could just be some esoteric superstition that we don't know about.
If that's true, then ask yourself one thing. Where did I get this parchment from?
You don't mean...
I found it in my pocket after I was properly confined. Whoever I've been chasing must have left it there to taunt me. For all I know, they could have controlled my body and forced me to draw this symbol myself. Either way, this all but proves the massacre at the cathedral is related to it.
The purple mark has been added to the court record.
And there we get to the sticking point. It's some sort of strange symbol. Arya Steelwind calls it the purple mark. She thinks it has some relation to her mind control conspiracy. Supposedly, this mark has been found at the scenes of several gruesome murders throughout Rivengard. Arya felt she was getting close to the truth. When she regained consciousness after the massacre, she found a paper with the symbol in her pocket.
Talk to her.
Arya's fate. I don't want to dismiss what you said, but this definitely won't hold up in court.
Nor should it. If my mind has been compromised, I can't take the risk of leaving this dungeon. Otherwise, I could end up harming more people.
Wait, are you planning to spend the rest of your life in prison?
If that is what is necessary to keep everyone safe.
What about Asta? Weren't you two supposed to be married soon? He's the king now, and you can't rule Rivengard alongside him from a holding cell.
You're correct, but he's always been a remarkable person. You should have no problem finding another suitress.
You feel an overwhelming sadness emanating from her as she says that.
Arya.
No.
What?
You're not going to sacrifice everything for someone else's actions.
Mr. Cuthbert, I am not going to risk more lives. If I were to hurt His Majesty, I would never be able to forgive myself. Please don't ask that of me.
Saving Steelwind's future argument. So,
Do it. Steelwind is going to throw away.
Steelwind is going to throw everything she cares about for the greater good. Even
Throw
if
away
she...
everything.
Yeah,
Go
try
back
it
a
again.
little bit.
Steelwind is going to throw away everything she cares about for the greater good. Even if she was the one who did all this, she's not the one who's responsible. I can't let her resign herself to a fate like this.
Do it. Argument time.
Let me see if I can build. Let me try this. Steelwind acts for the greater good of the kingdom, regardless of the amount of suffering she must endure in doing so. She's deeply in love with Aster and will do anything to protect him. However, she's still a rational person and will be receptive to logical arguments. Steelwind, are you seriously just going to throw your life away?
If it were necessary, I would give my life for this kingdom. If someone controlled my actions today, they can and will do so again. A villain controlled my mind, and as long as that possibility exists, I can't trust myself.
Doubt, he says.
But that's assuming this person can continue to do so. We don't know how this mind control works. We can't just drop this without finding out what really happened. You said so yourself. You haven't found any evidence to prove your theory. We don't know how this mind control works, and we don't have enough information. We can't just drop this without finding out what really happened.
I suppose you're right. But I doubt there was any go to this. The person responsible was just a sadistic killer. I've been investigating these murders for months, and I've never been able to find any personal clues as to who the perpetrator is. There's no way to connect them to this. Whoever did this was a sadistic individual who wanted to cause as much suffering as possible.
I would say Eris.
Trapped King.
Yeah, so whoever, yeah, it was, I don't think it, okay. That's not true, Steelwind. Whoever did this had very specific targets in mind. Both Prince Alaric and the High Speaker saw you when the murders were being committed. Not to mention they set a trap for Asta.
What?
Let's assume that someone was controlling you. They wouldn't have left Alaric, Arceus, or Asta alive if they were trying to kill as many people as possible.
I suppose you have a point there. But even so, that hardly narrows things down. If someone was controlling me, they would need to enter the cathedral to use me. The perpetrator didn't need to enter the cathedral to commit the murders. Perhaps you're right, and the perpetrator only wanted to murder the 3 victims. There's plenty of people who might want to see those 3 dead.
All right, well, if the argument is the perpetrator didn't need to enter, I think they did. Because now we're trying to find a way that why they did need to. So let's see.
What does Force Cage say?
For the duration, the walls of this cube are impenetrable and can't be destroyed by anything, not even by spells that can, if there's more than one creature in the target space, are pushed away from the center. Is it that or the glyph of contingency?
I'd say Force Cage.
All right. There's one thing you're overlooking. Before the murder started, someone trapped Asta with a force cage using glyph of contingency.
But they didn't harm him. It was probably just a distraction.
Even so, this gives us 2 very important clues. The first is whoever did this is capable of casting those 2 spells. This means that the perpetrator was a mage.
That's true.
But the second clue is the most important one. Whoever set that trap for Asta, they did so within 24 hours of it triggering. This means that the perpetrator must have been someone who attended the funeral.
So it was one of them?
That narrows down our list of suspects substantially. There's a chance we can identify who did this. And if they really did control your actions, we could find a way to prevent them from doing so again. Steelwind, you need to fight this.
I can't.
What? Why not?
Fighting this will put people in danger. If we pursue an individual like this, they might retaliate even more than they already have. They wanted to remove me from my position. How will they react if I try to resist? They might hurt even more people to send a message. It's far too dangerous.
We can't back down in the face of injustice. If we let the perpetrator get away with this, we're letting them know that their actions will go unanswered.
I don't think so.
I doubt someone like that would go far. They might decide to lay low and wait things to die down. Whoever did this had a goal far bigger than you, and you have no guarantee that they'll stop here. Who will they target next? Your father? The king?
I'd say that.
Whoever did this had a goal far bigger than you, and you have no guarantee that they'll stop there. 3 nobles died today, and 2 of them were near the top of the political hierarchy. What if they decide to go after more victims? Who will they target next? Your father? The king? We need to catch them before they can do more harm. I know you're frightened about what might happen to the people close to you. We can't let someone that dangerous get away with this.
When you put it that way, I suppose I have no other choice, do I?
Argument 1.
I never realized it before, Mr. Cuthbert.
What?
You really have a bad habit of butting your nose into other people's business, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose I do.
But you're right. We can't let this go. I'll find a way to dispute this, somehow. Thank you, Mr. Cuthbert.
I think we've known each other long enough. You don't need to be so formal. You've successfully argued against Arya Steelwind.
Perhaps I misjudged you. Let's talk to her now.
Saving Steelwind's future.
I know I agreed to fight this, but...
What is it? You're the most qualified attorney in the nobility. You'll definitely be able to make a case for yourself.
As you probably know, House Sybil controls the legislative and judicial branches of our kingdom. And they've nominated my father as a prosecutor for my trial.
What?
No one believes my theory of mind control. Everyone believes that I overspent my magic and gave myself mage blight. As a result, they blame House Steelwind for Corlin Sybil's death. Now, the only way for him to redeem House Steelwind is to convict me and sentence me to death.
But he's your father. There's no way he would...
This isn't the first time something like this has happened. When I was a child, my mother accidentally overruled her magic and induced mage blight within herself. In her resulting psychotic episode, she massacred an entire village of commoners.
No.
House Steelwind almost lost everything after that. To redeem himself, my father personally oversaw my mother's trial and her execution.
That's...
My father values his duty to Riverguard over everything else. Nothing matters more to him than that. Not even his family. I want to have confidence in myself, but I don't know if I can face him like this.
Mr. Cuthbert, what is your stake in all of this?
What?
You hate the nobility, don't you? So why are you so intent on helping Miss Steelwind?
Because she's innocent. I know she is. She would never be irresponsible enough to give herself mage blight.
Mr. Cuthbert.
It doesn't matter if she's a noble or a commoner. She's being oppressed by the system, and she deserves a fair trial.
Well said.
What?
I, Remus Verdile, hereby grant you the privilege to serve as Miss Steelwind's counsel.
Wait, really?
I will be acting as the judge and arbiter of Miss Steelwind's trial. It is within my right to grant such permissions.
Why do I get this feeling that this guy's gonna pull a Lord Strongheart? Because think about it. He's the royal vizier. How many times have we seen the royal vizier want to usurp the throne? Jafar, anybody? But, we already know who the real culprit behind all of this is. The person who's behind everything that's happened so far. Her name is Eris Illmatter, and we all know what she's capable of. So anyway, thank you. But why would you...
Do you think I've made a mistake?
No, of course not. I'll serve as Steelwind's attorney. If she will have me.
Of course. There's no one else I would trust more with this. And please, you've done a lot for me already. You don't have to be so formal. Please call me by my first name. Celeste's already taken to doing that. But since you'll be defending me, you'll probably need this.
Aria spell compendium added to the court record.
So it contains the formulas for the following spells: Mend Wounds, Firebolt, Shape Liquid, Dispel Magic, Steal and Strike, Detect Magic, Polymorph, and Hold Creature.
Firebolt added to the court record.
Caster wants to fire a projectile that's hot enough to inflict third-degree burns. This projectile can travel 120 feet without collision before its magic dissipates. Once it collides with something, it will set the object ablaze if it's flammable. So that's how the church got set on fire, the common room.
Hold creature added to
And
the
that's
court
an
record.
evocation spell. The caster completely restricts the movement of the target. While concentrating on this spell, the target will be unable to move any part of their body. Even subtle movements, such as the gestures required to cast certain spells, are impossible. As a result, the target will also be unable to move their mouth to speak. That is what got, that's what got Alaric. So...
Steal and strike added to the court record.
The caster strikes targets of their choice in a 40-foot radius of a slashing force. Each slash has the might and power of a mage blade and can cut through thick metal armor. It's the ultimate spell of House Steelwind, and its spell formula is a closely guarded secret. So, yeah. Polymorph.
Polymorph has been added to the court record.
The caster transforms a target within 30 feet of them into an animal. The animal can be any creature that can fit within a 2 by 2 by 2 foot cube. For the duration, the target's senses and intellect will also be changed to match that of the animal they are transformed into. Well, okay, so if it was transmutation magic, maybe the prince got turned into a frog or something. Anyway.
Dispel magic added to the court record.
Which he cast Abirio on Celeste before. Choose any magical effect within 120 feet. The spell that is creating that effect immediately ends unless the targeted spell is immune to being dispelled. However, this only ends the spell's effects. It does not undo the effects of the spell. For example, dispelling a shape liquid on an affected liquid would only prevent the caster from further manipulating the liquid. It will not unfreeze the liquid or change its shape back to normal.
Then it's settled. We will hold the trial at my home, the city of Ladon.
Ladon? I've never heard of that place.
Speak with Lucio. He knows the location well. Before he can ask any more questions, the Archduke leaves without a word.
He really has a bad habit of just walking away from conversations. But I guess we should consider ourselves lucky. Even if it's unorthodox, this situation would let us approach this like any other trial.
You had no idea what you were in for when you agreed to this.
Actually, time out. I had no idea what I was in for when I agreed to this. Go ahead.
What proceeded next will be unlike any trial you've ever been in. But even so, you persevered as you've always done in the name of justice, regardless of what you'd had to sacrifice to do so.
What do you mean by that? Absolutely.
You never know. Well, we got to get out of here.
Yes, absolutely. I think that is I think this is a perfect opportunity to end the stream. So now we wait until the next time that we can do this wonderful series for you. So we hope you'll stay tuned. We will update you on the Facebook page. And as always, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steel Twins. And we are for real. Top guys out. Ciao.
Adios, muchacho.